Hi, and welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and today I got another special guest, another guy that I met at Joe Fest, as you could see in the thumbnail. And it's great to have all these people on, and it just kind of sitting back. And if you watch the intro, you see all those names. There were so many. There were so many thumbnails that I took out of people that no longer, they no longer come around the show, and not that I dislike them. But it is amazing. I think this is the third year that I am doing this. And it started as an every other week, and then it became once a week. And we have gone through a lot of people. But anyway, my guest tonight is a very special guy, and that is JoeFan84. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. I take that back. I've had some ailments start hurting. Like my knee just started hurting. My toes started hurting while working, like walking. like my big toe. I'm like, I haven't done anything. Why? Oh, that's right. I'm 50 years old. So uh, it is so true that when you get to a certain age, things just hurt for absolutely no reason. If I said, "Hey, my toe hurts," I hurt my toe, and they're like, "What'd you do?" I said, "I stubbed it skateboarding." You're like, "Okay, cool. You know what? You did something." This is just I got out of my car.
Yeah,
How are
right.
you doing?
I'm okay. I kind of the same way. I was getting out of my car the other day, and like when I have two cars. I have a Scion TC that I got it lowered and fixed up a little bit, but it's just so low to the ground. I was trying to get out of it, my knee made a sound that it shouldn't have made. Just trying to get out of it.
I cracked so many parts of my body, and I have for years. Different knuckles, knees, shoulders, obviously your neck, and different things like that. Nothing from a chiropractor, Matthew. Anytime I can get like something new to pop or crack, it's one of those like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to do that, but it actually kind of feels pretty good. Um, Matthew says it's gout from Aldi Cola. I've been drinking more water. I did a bunch of fasting in the past couple weeks. I've dropped like I think 7 or 8 pounds. So I'm actually
Nice.
trying to get below the 180 mark, which
Ooh. I wish I can get down to 180. I'm at 255, and I've been and that's down from 260. So
yeah, most people don't realize I'm as heavy as I am due to the height, but and most people that have met me know I carry mostly muscle. I got some around my belly, but it is true. Muscle does weigh more. And it's like, sometimes it's hard to get, but I look at some of these pictures from 15 years ago when my daughter was young and my son was young. And I'm like, "Ooh, what happened to the skinny face?"
yeah, right.
It is long gone. So anyway, let's head to the chat really quick. We have a bunch of people, 27 people watching right now. So please hit the like button. I should probably double check, but I thought I put all your information in. So if you want his Instagram, please go over there and subscribe to his Instagram and to his YouTube channel. I just went and double checked to make sure. So quickly, we had Stanley Eberhardt jumping in way too early. 6:22 p.m. Same team, 1984. It's a conversation just on camera. We, the chat, are here to support you. If you need us to, let us know how we can break the ice for you. The chat is great for that.
Yeah.
Stanley,
Thank
sometimes I don't know
you.
if you're rambling on about.
Well, I get nervous, especially being in chat and stuff. I get nervous.
Again, it's just you and me talking with a bunch of yahoos in the chat.
And
So
I've,
we
I've
got
met most everybody at Joe Fest.
yeah, exactly. I guess so. No different. We got Matthew Matson here with his Krusty Old Crow, SCS Dog, HK Viper. We got Michael Glenn Fleming. We got William Emery saying Pumpkin Joe Fan 84 chat. Have a great show. There you are. Or shall I say this asshole, as we do on the Circle of Jerk. Troy Bleaford has joined in here. Viper Scout, another one of those mostly 1/18th guys. GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. We have Commander Wolf jumping in here. We have Wiggles Clown.
Oh, that's my friend Michael.
I don't think that I have ever seen him. So you know
No,
what
he's not a GI Joe guy. He doesn't care nothing about this stuff.
you know what he gets for that?
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
There's any chance I get to play that, and I don't even have to worry about Matthew messaging me saying, "No, dude, he's been here all the time." We got Cooter's Garage, who has jumped in 3-star draw. We have Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. We have Stu for lunch, and then we have Ultra Mesh, and let's see here, Todd C. And I think that just about hits everyone. WC had SCS Dog. Well,
yes. Hey,
we'll do it and call that a day. Sabir Delton Norte, Gun Bunny Customs. And let's see, Commander Wolf says, it sounds like someone twisted bubble wrap when I get up to walk around the bathroom in the morning. Everything cracks and pops the waist down. Dude, going down the stairs is so difficult before I take a shower because nothing is warmed up. And when before Roman was hurt and he slept upstairs with me, he would bolt down the steps. And I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm not getting down any faster. And if I do, it means I've tumbled. So you can just take your time. Beardy McBearderson has jumped in the chat also. And let's see here. Wiggles the Clown says, Billy, tell the story about when you delivered pizza and a bee flew in the car with you. Well, you know what? Hold on. One and Toys. All right. So since he's bringing this up and he's here right now and he's asking, a bee flew in while you were delivering pizza?
Yeah. So those who know me well and know that I am terrified of bees, wasps, all that stuff. And I delivered pizza for 7 years for Domino's. And I mean, I have all kinds of crazy stories anyway, but that one particular time, a bee flew in the car. I believe it was a Yellow Jacket or Hornet, one of those. Anyway, it flew in the car, and I jumped out of the car with that while it's moving, and it ran over a guy's mailbox. Yeah, it completely destroyed this guy's mailbox. I had to go on my day off and had to go buy him a mailbox. And
so I wish this was on Baldy's channel because he has that bees clip for any time that Bobby B is on the show. But I fully understand. I fully understand how you feel because everyone knows I am definitely scared of spiders. And I think we've all had
spiders, but I have a healthy respect of them.
See, we've all had a spider that we've seen in the car. And I was driving home one day, and it was luckily where I was at, almost home, but it was like stop and go. And something dropped, a big black thing dropped. And I pulled off into what used to be a Payless shoes. It used to be a Pickway. I don't know if anyone remembers Pickway shoes, which then got bought off by Payless. I pulled in there, and I jumped out of that car so fast, only to figure out that it was actually the bolt. One of the bolts that holds on the visor, but it scared the absolute shit out of me. Now, I did not jump out of a moving car and run over anyone's mailbox.
Yeah, I'm not allergic to them or anything. I don't know why. I've been that way my whole life. I've just been terrified of them.
Because they hurt when they sting. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, one gets near me and I lose all control of myself. Like my poor nephew that was like 4 at the time, a bee got too close to me and I threw him at the bee.
My boss, I had Clint Jorgensen here. My boss, he's a heavier set guy, and he's definitely scared of bees also. And honest to God, like I've never seen him run so fast. When we were at our old shop, when a bee came and he bolted right through the shop into his office. And I mean, I knew he didn't like them. I didn't realize he was like, I don't run from spiders. I'll back away.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not a
spiders,
big fan of
snakes,
them, for
none
sure.
of them.
But anyway, okay, so let me ask you your name, JoeFan84. I have a feeling this can be a fairly easy one, but where does the name come from?
It originally used to be anime guy, and then it went to 06 TC man because of my car, and I used to post videos and stuff of me working on my car. But when I got back into GI Joe, I didn't know, I was just like, no, I can't be TC man because it doesn't make any sense. And so I just was like, well, I'm a GI Joe fan, and I was born in '84, so Joe fan '84.
But you know what? I mean, you look at Evo Dookie, I mean, his name doesn't make any sense to be a Joe fan. Although, again, I mean, I've had him on the show, and it does make sense when you get to know him. So,
Yeah.
but I fully understand what you're saying. I tell everyone, I'm very adamant about this. Tony Sfigel and I have talked about this, and I go, I don't understand why people will change their logo or their name. I had a big long talk with Krusty O'Crow about it too. I'm like, when you get established, people know that logo, they know your name, and you start changing things around, it's hard for people to find you. It's hard for people to notice. And again, it goes both ways because people that don't like me, they might see that logo and just pass right by one of my reviews. But more than likely, if someone likes me, they're going to stop and, watch it. So I always tell everyone, hey, keep that name. Now, if you're in different genres, I understand for sure.
I used to have Sergeant Slaughter on his Triple T. I had the modern Sergeant Slaughter on the vintage Triple T as my fixture.
I started
like, well, I need logos. I need something better, so I came up with that. And I finally got some stickers in.
No, and that's the thing. Like that is like you took something. You had just some basic picture, and again, maybe it's your picture, but it's just a basic picture of something that that you took a picture of. And then you had something created. So I would assume you'll probably want to stick with that for quite some time. My moderator, not Matthew, but Ed, he recently changed his, and he's done this a few times. And I'll see his little icon now, or his avatar, and I'm like, who the hell? Oh, that's Ed. So, has anyone seen Ed? Has anyone seen Action Figs lately? Because he has not been in our mods chat, and I should probably text him and make sure he's all right. I haven't heard anything from him and his anti-social media. So, anyway. All right. So, do you mind me asking?
It looks like my friend's wife is watching.
What was that? Ariana is watching.
Looks like my friend's wife is watching too. Arena.
Man, how much does she hate him? Like, you're gonna make me watch Josh talk about his life and toys.
They've been married a few years now. I was there at their wedding. They had a wonderful wedding.
We had Debo jumping in here, who another guy that I'll be waiting to see at Joe Fest, unless his band finally comes through Detroit and we can finally get together. Then I've been waiting. Anyway, so I'm assuming you were. Did you say you were born in '84? Did we get that? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that because I talk too much. I know it's all about me. All right. So you're born in '84. So you're a little bit younger than me. I'm assuming you are 41.
I'll be 42 next month.
Okay, so I nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm not awful at math. All right, so 41. So you're a little bit younger than us. So clearly we see things a little bit different. What was your family life like? Were your parents together? Did you have siblings?
Yeah, my parents have they just celebrated their 52nd anniversary, I believe. And yeah, I had one sibling.
They got married in 73.
Yeah, 73.
Yeah, I'm good at math.
And my sister was born in 77, and I was born on her 7th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we share the same birthday, and it's always been rough. But with her always being 7 years older than me, like that's a big age gap when you're kids.
Huge. My sister's 6 years younger than me, and there's no connection at all.
But she's always been protective of me, and I mean we get along okay. I mean, of course, we're siblings. I mean, there's going to be fights and arguments, but
Yeah.
but she's always been real protective of me, and we had a lot of good adventures and times, and then of course by the time I was like 10 or 11, she moved out, and that was kind of like the only one there for a while, and the only the only child in the house anyway,
So, like, where did you grow up at?
Born and raised in Clayton County, Georgia. It's the suburbs of Atlanta. It's a town called Morrow, or city called Morrow. And I lived there until 2009 when I moved to Memphis. And then I moved from Memphis and where I'm at now to be close to my son.
Okay.
20 years younger. Wow.
So where are you at now?
I'm in Marion County, Alabama, Hamilton, Alabama. It's close to the Mississippi border, but it's like an hour and a half to go any town. Like there's more cows here than people.
I see. I couldn't deal with it. I'm a city guy. Like I need
I'm used to it too. And I moved here to be near my son because I met his mom up in Memphis, and we got married and had him, and then some stuff happened, and then she moved back here, and I got tired of missing. I was missing ball games and church stuff, concerts and all kinds of stuff. And so I just said, and then after my second divorce, I just said, I'm gonna go be near my son. I can't do this. I can't, it's 3 hours just to see him, and 3 hours one way, 3 hours back,
we're gonna get to that, but I want to say this. Luckily, when my ex and I split up, she only moved like 3 miles down the road. She wanted to move some like half hour away, and I fought it because it was out of the school district. And I've always said, like, I couldn't imagine not being around my kids. Like, if she was able to take them 4 hours away, I would have found a way, found another job, some way. Because again, like, they're only here they're only young and for so long. And there's a chance they're going to move away when, if they go away to college, when they graduate. So, yeah, I'd rather be close to them. Although my son lives with me, and he can go away for a while anytime.
Yeah, my son, he's going to be 12 this year, and he's getting that teenage angst already.
You know what? It all depends. I know people say, "Oh, it doesn't get any better." Others will say that it gets better. It all depends on the child. Obviously, I mentioned it before. Like I think last week, I'm like, my son doesn't really want to have anything to do with us. That's kind of where he's at right now. He knows everything, so you never hear anything about him. Where my daughter, who everyone knows, Olivia, is always, when she's here, she's always somewhere, always hovering around somewhere.
Yeah, that's one good thing about my son is he does want to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with him, and I get him every other weekend, and then holidays and stuff.
Yeah, and as they get older, then they'll come over, and with my ex, it's kind of like I've told Olivia before. I'm like, you can be here anytime. If you want to go, if you're here and you want to go see your mom, I don't care. Like, her mom and I have a good relationship too, but it's like I don't like. I'm not gonna be mad if you want to spend 2 weeks here. I don't care. The inconvenience is me having to wake up a little bit earlier and get you to school. But when again, she's gonna be 17. When it was her, when it was my weekend, if there was a family function on her side or her mom wanted to pick, I don't care. Like, it's your daughter too, like it's not supposed to be a competition, as long as, she loves me more than her mom a little bit.
Yeah. And my son, he says he likes staying with me because I do more with him, because in this town, like I said, there's nothing around. Like, we have a Walmart that it literally only has one aisle for toys. This side is like Hot Wheels and Nerf guns and Legos. This side is the girl aisle, and that's it.
Oh man, I found I found a retro cover girl at Walmart today.
Nice. My
It,
Walmart never
it,
has anything.
a 4-inch retro cover. Or I'm sorry, not cover girl, Lady J.
Ah,
The
wow.
4-inch.
Wow.
I was like, this thing was hidden somewhere. I mean, the not the box, the card back was actually in really good shape. It was just sitting on peg in the clearance aisle. It was the only
Wow.
GI Joe thing that they had there.
Yeah, wow. So I usually have to go to Tupelo, which is about 45, 50 minutes away from here. And me and my son, we call it Joe hunting. We
Yeah,
go, we
pretty
always,
much what it is.
and pretty much what we do is we go to, online shopping indeed.
Yeah, Royal Rooster Collectibles is right. Like, and again, I don't have to worry. I can hit a Target. I can spit and hit a Target and spit and hit a Walmart. I mean, I have so many around me.
Yeah,
But not everyone does.
Nearest Target to me is like an hour and a half away, and then when I go there, they rarely have anything. So I just pass them up.
So Evil Dookie, I'll say this: to the Targets that had the display, they're the ones that got all the Stingers, all those 2-packs, all the Marvel Legends. They're the ones that are going to be putting them on discount. In my area, of all the Walmarts that I have, only one had the display. I went to it the other day. All the stuff was in the clearance, but the clearance was the normal price. And they don't have scanners. So then you would have to take it up there and see if there's actually clearance more. Unlike Target, who can afford scanners, I guess. Walmart, I guess, can't do that yet. But anyway, all right, let's get back to where we normally are. All right, you're born in 84. What's your first memory of your first like toys that you played with? Not what you fell in love with, but like what's your
the first
first
toys
memory?
I remember playing with is those little Fisher Price. That one where you open it up and it moves at you.
The barnyard.
Yeah, the barnyard. Yeah, that's the first things I remember playing with.
I'm pretty sure though, I remember playing with those, and I'm pretty sure they were hand-me-downs to the person that I had them. So I can only imagine how many times they had been handed down to the yacht to 84.
Yeah, that's the first thing I can remember playing with, and then of course, I had Hot Wheels, and I was huge into Hot Wheels when I was a kid, and I had a ton of them, and I don't know if you remember those Hot Wheels that when they crash, they have like a little spring. They flip around and it shows like front damage. I forget what they're called. And I used to play in the kitchen, and me and my mom would, we'd be sliding across the floor, and I'd be like, "No, you're doing it wrong."
Yeah, I had a white car. I want to say were they called Crash'em?
I think it was Crash'ems, yeah.
Crack Ups is what Matthew is
saying.
Crack
Ups, yeah, that's it. Crack Ups.
And
right, Matthew.
Yeah, so I remember I had a white one, and it was the front end, and it was basically like, Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor, where it hit it, and actually I got two sitting right over here, and it flipped around. I found. Do you remember key cars?
I do.
I found key cars when my kids were a little bit younger, and so they were a new key car. But I bought them for all of us, and we would race them. It don't go very far. It takes you back to like, oh man, this is so much fun. And Hot Wheels were, again, for any age, Hot Wheels or Matchbox, they were $1. Now they're like $1.25, $1.30, something like that.
$1.50, I think.
But it was always one of those, like, they were cheap enough that you could almost always talk your parents, like, just get a couple cars, like, then you're gonna shut up. So you remember playing with those, and it's like your first memory. What's the first toy that you can remember falling in love with?
G.I. Joe.
Really?
Yes.
So but you would have been at an age where, for me, all the really good Joes were already out.
Yeah. Yeah, I came along in the Deke era with all the neon, all the bright colors and stuff like that. But
No.
I remember, I would rush home from school as fast as I could to watch the show, and then in the morning the Sunbow show came on, in the afternoon the Deke came on. So I'd watch the Sunbow in the morning before school, and I'd watch the new after school.
So by the time you're actually like understanding, because it's usually what, 5 or so,
Yeah, 89.
5, 6. You're getting all the neon stuff, and you're getting the Python Patrol. Like, would you consider that your Joe stuff, or did you get hand-me-downs? And did you enjoy the older stuff more, or do you look at that and be like, that's my GI Joe, Battle Force 2000, and
Yeah, Battle Force 2000. Honestly, I didn't really care. If it was a Joe, I wanted it.
Okay.
And it was a lot of hand-me-downs, but a lot of things that I got, I didn't get Joe's much. They were a little bit pricey then, and not to mention I was rough on my toys. I played with them, and I played hard with them. So Mom and Dad always got me. Speaking of Mom, there she is.
So this is your mom, Jackie McLeod, here saying his room was like a museum. He had action figures lined up like soldiers as early as 7 years old.
Yeah, everything had a place. I had everything on a shelf lined up and posed, and then Dad built me a shelf that was like 7 foot tall, and I had in my room, and on the back of it I had Christmas lights like snaking all the way down, and so I can everything was lit up and you can see, and I had some like G.I. Joe and Star Trek, and I want to say about 91, 92, I started getting more into Star Trek. G.I. Joe was getting a little weird.
It did.
So, and it was getting too spacey and too weird for me. So I started getting into Star Trek: The Next Generation, the Playmate one.
Yep, I had a lot of those.
And then when I still got some of them, but a lot of them are they're all cracked and paint's missing,
So you said your dad built you like a 7 foot shelf? Now I don't know if my dad, I don't know if you've ever heard the story. My dad also built me something that was 7.5 feet long, but you could land planes on it. It was supposed to be in the water.
Yeah, I never had the honestly, I didn't even know the flag existed until I got older.
I think a lot of kids, till they were older, thought it was just a myth, like it was something in the catalog that really didn't exist.
I never even heard of it. Never seen it. Didn't even know it existed. I didn't know anything about it. I don't even remember seeing it at because we went to a lot of yard sales. Yeah, I don't even remember seeing it at yard sales. Like I did get a Phantom at I
can't say recently. I got one of those in the past 5 to 7 years. Not by mistake. It was just bought in a huge lot. That's the only reason why I have one.
And it even had a Ghost Rider with it.
Oh wow! Yeah, I have the Ghost Rider. The only thing I'm missing are the two the two wings on it. That's the only thing that it needs.
Yeah, this one was
all the parts.
This one was missing a lot of stuff. It was missing the wing tips. It was missing the missiles and the little rubber nose cone. It was missing that. It still had the canopy, but it was missing so much stuff. But like I said, I bought it from a yard sale and a few other Joes and stuff. And I played with it for a long time.
It's a pretty good plane, to be honest. I mean, it's way past my time, but if you look at, if you look at the Night Raven, it's comparable to exactly what that was.
Yes.
So I have it. It just sits there, like I said. The only thing I need are the wingtips on it. I should probably go on eBay and see how much of those actually run now. That's the only thing. I bought all the other parts because it was just a shell. And one day I was sitting at home. I'm like, let's see what let's go through the stuff. And I was like, what is this here? I went through the book and I went online and started ordering the parts for it. And it really wasn't that expensive, but those wingtips at the time were crazy. They were crazy. All right. So what were there other lines that you fell in love with, or was it just GI
Yes.
Joe? I mean, you said you went from GI Joe, then you talked about Playmates.
The core. That's mostly what I had. Instead of getting GI Joe, I had the core, and because my mom's a very smart lady, she knew how hard I play with toys, and when things break or when, I mentioned this before, like I'm autistic, and so I get real obsessive with things. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I lose one little piece on there, and I went nuts. Like I would lose like a little game or a gun or something would happen to it, and I would go crazy, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do nothing because I would just be looking for it, and I would just be like, "It's here somewhere," So we'd be out. Poor mom, would be out there in the yard at midnight with a flashlight trying to find a little tiny black gun.
Let me ask you this, because I get very obsessive about things that I know that I have that I can't find. Do you, like, if you're missing something, and let's say it's missing for like an hour and a half, and you find it, and let's say it's early on in the day, is it still in your mind, like for the rest of the day, that you think you still have to find it? Even though, like, I can't tell you how many times, like, there's something that I've misplaced, and I'll be up and down my stairs trying, and I finally find it, and it's probably like 11 o'clock, in the morning, and then the rest of the day, I'm like, oh, I gotta find. Oh wait, I already did find it. I'm glad it's not just me that does that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I had a ton of the core stuff, and like I said, I played with stuff hard, and so GI Joes were a little on the expensive side, but core was dirt cheap, and on a lot of times you can get 3 core figures for the price of 1 Joe. So, like I said, Mom was a very smart lady, and so she was like, "Let's get you the core. You get more. It's basically the same thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
And to be honest, like if you don't know the difference, you're not looking at the file cards, you're not reading all the comic books, then you don't know. To you, it's just another action figure that fits in with GI Joe.
I didn't even know there was a GI Joe comic when I was a kid. Like, to me, it was just a TV show.
But you know it now, right?
I know it. Oh yeah, I got a ton of comics, and
you know that the comic is the true canon, correct?
It's so much better.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm amazed. Hey, look, that is the best episode the best comic with Quick Kick, because he gets beat up.
Well, yeah, I got
Quick Kick ever did was get knocked out by Storm Shadow.
Yeah, I got can you see that? I got Francois Chow's autograph.
Who is it?
Francois Chow, the guy who voiced Quick Kick.
Oh, okay. Did you tell me you could never beat up Storm Shadow?
No, we talked about, because he was the second Shredder, and so we talked more about that than we did that. But I mentioned I liked his different accents and stuff in the show, and the impressions that he used to do. And I told him, I said, "Man, I loved that. That was funny to me."
I gotta say, the stuff that voice actors do, and I talked to Dr. Mindbender for quite some time. Let me rephrase that. He talked to me for I know people will be like, "Man, you talked," and like he wasn't letting me leave. You're like, "Man, I really want to leave." Like he's going through all it, but again, like there's not that many people that really. And I didn't realize how many voices that he did. He had all the voice characters. If you don't want to be if you were an actor, but you don't want to be one of those people who are constantly hounded and paparazzi, a voice actor, I mean, you can do it forever, and you can do so many different voices, and it just goes on. And, you hear these guys talk about how they just go in and they're in there for 3 hours and then they're done. And
yeah, and they get paid for it. I also got Sergeant Slaughter's autograph.
I choked him out just like that. 24.
Yeah, he did me. I did the Cobra Clutch. Yeah.
He honest to God, like everyone knows I'm not a huge fan of Sergeant Slaughter, as he turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. But you could not find someone to represent G.I. Joe better. I mean, he absolutely loved it. Were you there in 24?
Yes, I went 23, 24, and 25.
Were you there were you at the table when he sat down for like 2 hours with us? And not like me, but just like the whole group. I know
No,
Darren. Well, actually, Darren and I were sitting at the bar while he was sitting there. We didn't even know it.
yeah, no, like the first time I went, I was by myself, and so I was super nervous, and so I just hung out in my hotel room the whole time. And
Yeah.
I'd go down to the show and walk around, buy a few things, and then I'm like, okay, this is crowded, and I get overstimulated very quickly and very easily. So
Okay.
I had to go. I went back up to my hotel room to get some quiet, and then I get more overstimulated on like places that I don't know or I've never been to before, and like it's super quick. And so I went back up.
Yourself.
Yes. And then in 24, my mom and my son came with me, and we wound up because my aunt lives about an hour and a half roughly away from Augusta. So I was like, well, hey, if y'all come with me, let's go visit my aunt, and then she lives about another hour away from the beach. So I was like, well, we can go visit her, and then we can drive to the beach, and then we can go back visit her, go to the beach, come back, And that's what we did last year too. We went and visited her.
Yes, Darren. Yeah, we were held hostage waiting on a cheeseburger because the bartender, and we didn't. I don't think we knew at the time that Sergeant Slaughter was sitting with like the whole group of people. But the bartender didn't want us to leave because we weren't rude to him, and he didn't want to deal with all the other people. So it was me, Darren, and I think Daredevil Dave was sitting on the other side of Darren. And then someone came in and said, yes, yeah, Sarge is sitting at our table. Like that. We were actually supposed to grab the stuff and go back. And then the guy's like, hey, why don't you guys just stick here? And I don't want to really want to deal with everyone else. Little did we know that Sarge was over there.
Yeah, I actually got to see Sarge in 25 at the bar. I went and hung out, and I met 3-Star there. I got I saw Pop, and then
we saw him at the bar too.
Yeah, I saw him. That's where I met you.
Carry
at the bar.
Carry him to the elevator.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, which I'm not much of a drinker. I'll have one here and there with a friend or something, but most of the time I just especially if I'm around my son, I don't want to touch the stuff. But yeah, it was kind of funny watching him getting carried out.
Yeah, Darren's right. He almost fell on us. Like he was so drunk in 25.
He was stumbling pretty bad.
Yeah, and his manager Paul, who I don't feel bad for because he's the one who's always trying to get him away from people. But that's his job, right? That's his job.
That's his job.
So, all right. So you got into Playmates. Was there anything else that you really fell in love with, or?
Yeah, I mean, of course I had some Transformers. I didn't have much, but I liked them. But they were some of them were really hard to transform, and so I'm just like, yeah, this is too much,
Well, so
but I liked, I did like Transformers.
And you're looking at like in the early 90s, and I don't know what they were like. I mean, for us, the Transformers, at least the ones that I had, Optimus Prime, they were pretty pretty easy to transform. The ones my son got, like I mean, I remember telling him, I will transform it once a week. You tell me, I can't do this all the time. It was so frustrating. So I couldn't imagine like a 5 or 6 year old doing it. They were crazy.
And then I got into Beast Wars pretty heavy when that came out, and I had a ton of Beast Wars. And I honestly wish that I had kept those because I had put them in storage. And when G.I. Joe came back out in 2007 with the 25th anniversary line, I got back in it hook, line, and sinker. I was like all in, and I took all those Transformers. I'm like, well, these are sitting in storage. They're in the way. I don't really want anything to do with them anymore. So I took a big giant, two giant bins full, and I traded them in at a anime and comic shop for a bunch of that's how I got 25th anniversary Doc. I got because Doc was a like a mail away.
Yeah.
and so I got a ton of I got the Conquest and some anime stuff, and then some DVDs and stuff. And I got a ton from those, but I'm like, man, I'm kicking myself now because I'm like, dang, I wish I would have kept those.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we look back at, and I know I don't remember what happened to everything else. Like I said, I have all my G.I. Joe stuff. I don't think my dad would have gotten rid of it. We didn't have garage sales or anything like that. So I don't know what happened to all my other stuff, but I had a lot of other stuff. I mean, I had Motu, some Transformers, some
That's
masks.
amazing.
I don't know where any of it is. G.I. Joe is the only stuff that I still have. So I wish I had it just because you like to go back and look at it. Of course, it'd probably lead me down to another path that I don't need to go down.
Right.
I
But
think I might
when,
enough stuff as it is.
in '95, I believe that's when Star Wars re-released all the little 3 3/4 figures with the new with the with the
Power of the Force.
Power of the Force. Yeah.
Yes. This is
Yeah.
this is G.I. Bro dressed as Darth Vader. Look at those guns.
Yeah, I got when that came out, everything else went away. Like G.I. Joe, Transformers, everything went away, and like that's mostly what I got. And I would always ask for it for Christmas and birthdays, and Dad would be like, "What?" We would negotiate. I'm like, "Hey, if I go out and rake the yard, can I get a figure?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
I look back at that time, and for a while it was like, man, what a waste of money. And it was, because I was buying 2 of each. But when we started doing the May of the Power of the Force, and I started picking them, picking one up to do the review, and then I picked up a few more and I watched the other ones, I'm like, this was really such a fun time. Because I'm not this toy collector at the time. I'm collecting Star Wars, and it did lead to other things, but I wasn't concerned with like articulation and how many points and how many accessories. You were just buying it because it was Darth Vader and steroid Chewie and
Steroid Mark Hamill or Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, Han Solo on on Tren and stuff like that. It was it was crazy. Bobby Wold says Beast Wars is what I turned to when G.I. Joe went to the extreme. I always hated Beast Wars. Now, it was after my time, but I looked at Beast Wars and I just thought it was stupid. And then we have Tony's Figs jumping in here saying, good evening, Punk, Joe fan, and chat. All right, so when you go into middle school, we all go from our elementary school into middle school. Are you still playing with toys?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you hiding it? I know. No. I guess a lot of it depends on where you're at. And so you weren't hiding it all.
I didn't care. I had a lot of friends in school that played with me, so I had no reason to hide it. And of course you get called nerd and stuff like that, but I didn't care. I never really cared what anybody said about me. I'm just like, whatever. Call me nerd all you want to. I don't care.
So when you go into high school, does anything change? Are you still buying toys or?
When I went into high school there for a little bit, there was a time where I put everything up. I changed completely. I put everything up. I got into collecting model cars.
Okay.
Instead, so I like all my Star Wars, all my everything went into boxes, and luckily, Mom, God bless her, put everything in storage. And when I was going to go put everything in storage, she said, "You might want to wrap those up in Ziploc bags so you didn't lose all the little pieces." And I'm like, "That's a good idea."
See, I put all mine away. My dad never did that. I wish it would have been. I wish I would have thought of it. Like put everything, in those bags and everything.
It really was handy because it kept all the pieces together, and then but yeah, I started. I kind of.
Especially as the O-rings start to snap.
But
as they all do.
Yeah, they always do. Yeah, but yeah, I put everything.
No, go on.
I was just saying, she put everything in little Ziploc bags for me, and then we put everything. We had under the step storage space that we didn't really use much, except for like Christmas and decorations and stuff like that. So and we put everything under there, and I knew where it was. It is, and our house was a dual level house, and our downstairs was halfway underground, and so it was, that area was nice and cool. It didn't get hot under there, luckily. And
did you still find yourself like from time to time just like pulling the stuff out on like when you're 10th, 11th grade, just pulling the stuff out and going through it, just looking at it?
Sometimes, oops, dang it.
It's all right. Because I used to do that for a long time. Oh boy, I think we lost. Well, I didn't lose connection. I can still see myself, but it looks like Joe Fan has lost his connection. So hopefully he'll rejoin us pretty quickly, or else you're just gonna see me again, and no one really wants to see me for that much time. So we got retro cap jumping in today. Hurricane Andrew, August 1992, took all my toys away, like they went back to Santa's workshop. Daredevil Dave has a very similar story, I think, with Katrina, where he lost everything.
Can you hear me?
Comics. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with the camera. Like, I accidentally hit a button. I don't know what I hit, and everything just shut off.
Okay, so if you look at the bottom, you should see a camera on your StreamYard.
Yes.
Now it's all black. Did you?
Uh-oh. I can see myself.
Are you? Wait. So wait. You're actually. There you are.
Can you see me now?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It happens.
I'm using a laptop that I don't know anything about.
I deal with Baldy every Tuesday, so don't worry about it. All right. And not only Baldy, but then I have two other Yahoos, Tony and Spec, who also have control of the StreamYard, that will try and do things at the same time, which usually negates it. So in high school, like what are you doing? Do you get into sports? Are you into music? Are you collecting comics?
No.
Anything like that?
No, I just worked. I was into anime. I did get anime DVDs and stuff, but I didn't really get many toys. Like I said, and I did get a little bit of. I was more into cars then, because when the Fast and Furious movie came out, like I always been into cars, or I always liked them, but when the Fast and Furious movie came out, it really ignited a fire under me. And so I got into that, and I got into I had a little Honda Civic that I tried to fix up, even though it was a hunk of junk. But
well, so when you're doing the model cars, like how long do you do model cars for? Because to me, I remember trying model cars, and they just frustrated me. I mean,
I did them for a few years, and honestly, and then I don't know if you remember Elite Force.
No, I don't.
Okay, it was like a more realistic military figure, action figure.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. Then I got into those for a little while, and then while I was collecting those, G.I. Joe came out. And
okay.
I put those to the side, and then I got G.I. Joe, and then similar thing on the Elite Force. I wound up selling them all to a friend of mine so I can get G.I. Joe money. But in high school, I just worked. That's all I did, And then I skipped a lot too. I got tired. I don't know. I got tired of going to school every day, so I just started skipping. And then I had my poor mom and dad. They had to deal with, they had to. That was a fight, and they were mad and everything else. But I shouldn't have skipped. I wish I didn't have done it now. But then I was just like, of course, the school I was in, it was like 6,000 students at that school.
How many?
6,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of people there, and there was
fight. Big school.
Well, this is suburbs of Atlanta, so
I mean, we had 2,700 kids the year I graduated, so
yeah,
and that's a big school, let alone 6,000.
Yeah, we had something like that in my graduating class. Like I think it was like 2,000 people from a graduating class. But yeah, it was yeah, and there was always fights every day. There was always bomb threats and people bringing guns to school, and so I just got, I was just like, every day that I go to school, there's always a fight, or we're having to go outside to the football field because somebody done called in a bomb threat. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay home.
Wow. So did you end up graduating high school?
I did.
Okay.
Mom and dad just, they set me down. They said, either you're going to go to school and graduate or you're going to go find your own place. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go graduate.
How dare you make me live under, how dare you make me live by your rules while I live here for free?
You're right. But I was just one of those angry teenagers, just typical angry teenager. And there's some days I'd skip school to go to work, so because I was like, I'd rather make money than sit in class all day.
I remember I was working like 40 to 50 hours at Ponderosa I think my senior year. I think it was my senior year. And I remember asking, I go, how do you get away with us working this much? We're not supposed to. And he goes, I just time he dropped out of school. I go, what? He goes, I don't ask.
Yeah.
I say, well, isn't he in school? He dropped out. Oh, okay. I don't know how many dropouts Ponderosa must have been employing by their standards, but I wasn't the only one working 40 hours that was still in high school.
I was too. I'd go into work at 3 p.m. I get off at midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd get off at 11 and then I'd go hang out. All my buddies were older than me. So I'd go hang out with my friends till 2 o'clock in the morning. My dad was like, as long as you go to school and you pass your classes, I don't really care. Because he also knew I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs. He knew the friends that I was hanging out with and that they didn't do it. Would I let my kid do that? Hell no. But, we had a different type of relationship. And the girl that I dated before my kid's mother, I remember her like, I would never let my kids do that. I'm like, I wouldn't either. I'm like, my dad had a different type of relationship. And do I agree with it? No. Was I going to do it at that time because I was 17 years old? Yeah, hell yeah, I was. But no, I wouldn't do it. And in some ways, I wish my dad maybe would have had stricter rules for me, because maybe I would have went off and actually went to college rather than try community college for a short bit and then get a job. And now it's led me to where I'm happy where I'm at. But I went
to I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I look at like kids that go to college and go to like Michigan State or Central, and they got an experience that I'll never get. And that kind of disappoints me about my son. He was supposed to go and then he decided not to. And I'm like, it's something you can never, ever get back,
No, I went to a technical college. I got my associate degree in computer science tech.
Okay. So you did go to college.
Technical school.
So I want to, Royal Roosters Collective says, Punk was a good kid. I thought he'd be a rebel. Listen, I'm straight edge my entire life. I've never drank. I've never done drugs. My dad knew the people that we grew up with that did. I didn't get in fights. I didn't get in trouble. I rode my skateboard. I went to punk shows. That's what I did. It might seem like as a punk that I would, but no, I was. When I would tell people like I'm like the perfect kid, people be like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, you can go ask my dad. Like, I didn't get in trouble. I didn't cause him any heartache.
Yeah, I try to stay out of trouble, but the thing that I used to do was I'd sneak out at night and go street racing with everybody.
He really just stole wood for so much wood we stole. so much wood.
Yeah, I got into skateboarding when I was like 19, 18, somewhere in there.
Really?
My favorite board was my Black Label board that I had.
Which one? Do you remember?
I can't remember the style name, but it had Ricky Chalba on it.
Okay. I've never had a Black Label board.
I love it.
Black Label. For
I
some
like
reason.
it. It's a little heavy on the heavy side, so it was hard for me to do tricks and stuff on it. But the main thing that I liked about it is how smooth it was because it was heavy.
Yeah.
It was nice and smooth, and like when I would go to the skate parks and stuff, it was nice and smooth feeling. But I had a what's that E one?
Element.
Element, yes. I had an Element board. That was my trick board.
Yeah. I had elements. Well, I remember when it used to be Underworld Element. That's when it started. It used to be New Deal to begin with. It used to be New Deal, then it eventually became Underworld Element, then became Element. A lot of people don't realize it was all Schmidt stick wood. Now I'm getting way too nerdy. Now I'm just getting way too
I
fucking
didn't know
nerdy.
enough about skateboarding, so
I knew
that's
way.
fine.
I knew way too much. I also worked at a skate shop for a few years too. So
I used to hang out at one in Stockbridge, Georgia. It was a really nice one, indoor. It had a really nice giant indoor skate park, and
oh really?
and for
Yeah,
for after like $10, you can skate at your heart's content.
That's how. Yeah, that's how. Like the when I do skate, the park that I'll go to, it's it's a shop, but it's the second largest. It's the second largest indoor skate park in the country.
Wow.
Which is right behind Woodward. He said it used to be third. I was actually just in there talking to him this week. He goes, it used to be the third, but the other Woodward in California shut down. So only the Woodward in Pennsylvania is bigger. So, all right. So you go off to school, but you said you went in for computer science.
Mm-hmm.
So you ended up graduating, and
I did. I got an associate's degree.
Did you go into that field of work, or?
Well, I should have. But my dumb self, they were saying, well, you got to do internships in order to do this. And at the time, I had bought a brand new car, and I was like, I can't afford to do internships because it's free work. I can't do that. I didn't want to go to work 40 hours for free and then have to go to work 40 hours more. And so I told them, I said, let me do my internship at my work, which was Domino's Pizza. Hardly do anything with computers there. But like I said, at the time I was young, I was stupid, and I wish I could go back and just kick myself all the way to the internship, because I could have had a pretty decent job in downtown Atlanta, but I was like I said, I was young and dumb. I didn't want to do internships. I didn't want to work for free. So I was like, and I should have, because then I could have, like I said, I could have gotten the experience. And that's what happened after I graduated. They were like, well, you don't have enough experience. We can't hire you. And I was just like, no.
That's always been one of my frustrations, because I can remember I didn't graduate college. I kind of I got a co-op, and then I decided not to go back. I went and started looking for work. And I remember looking for stuff, and it was like, they want people with experience, but no one will give you experience to hire you. So it's like, well, how do I get experience if no one's willing to hire me to get experience? It truly is that catch-22. It's that infinity where it's like, well, you're not going to hire people that don't have experience, but no one is. So how does anyone get experience?
Yeah, and it was all that internship stuff that I should have done. But I knew enough about cars. I don't know a lot about everything about cars, but I knew enough to be able to fix one. Okay. And so I got into the automotive field. I started working after I left Domino's, I started working for an Express Lube, and doing oil changes all day. I was down in the pit when it was hot and miserable and getting covered by Lord knows what every day. But I learned a lot there.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot more there, and the more I learned, the more I got in, and then, because one side of our shop was just quick lube, and then the other side of the shop was tires, brakes, oil changes, valve cover gaskets, stuff like that. So when I'd go back and forth, and I learned a lot. Then I wound up going to a Firestone, and I worked there for about six or 7 years, something like that. And I learned a lot more there, and I gained a lot of experience. And then now I work for AutoZone now.
Okay.
And they actually, I started getting arthritis in my hands real bad from all the twisting and gripping all day. And I talked to the doctor about it, and she was just like, "Well, that's part of it." She goes, "You can carpal tunnel too," and she said, "Well, we can do the carpal tunnel surgery, or you can find something where you're not doing that anymore."
And you're blaming getting carpal tunnel on tools, huh?
Yeah,
okay. Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
It was the tool.
Sure, that's how you got it. All right.
But
I use the same one too. I've been single for 10 years.
8 for me.
Actually, I think it's 11 to be honest. I don't know. I've lost count.
It's been 8 years single this year, but no, it was doing all that, and then just I have a lot of ASC certifications and stuff. So when I talked to AutoZone about hiring me, they said, "Yeah, Todd." But yeah, so
we got the quotes in there.
it was tools. It was, when you're gripping stuff all day long, you have wrenches and everything else, and you're working.
You're not making things better. You can't say when you're gripping, you're not making it better.
No, I'm not.
Just gonna say you're not.
My mom's watching too. So.
Your mom is now shut it off.
Probably. She's like, la la la, I don't want to hear
it. Beardy, I have carpal tunnel. I haven't touched a tool in my life.
But anyway, that's why I got out of there and started working at AutoZone, and I'm in upper management there because of the ASCs and stuff. And
okay,
it's frustrating because I'm really the only one there with any shop experience. So like anybody has any questions, they're all immediately coming to me about it. And I don't know everything. There's still stuff that I learn every day.
Well, yeah, and, but even so, I've gone in to buy stuff at an AutoZone or not Pep Boys. What's the other one? O'Reilly's. You go in there and you're asking them, and when they have that blank look, you're like, I should just go down the street, right? Like, you gotta go get somebody, or should I just go down the street?
There's a lot of people there that there's some people there, they don't know anything, and there's some people there that essentially people behind the AutoZone counter they're just salesmen. There's no shop experience required, none of that. As long as you know how to talk to people, that's all they care about.
And hopefully, again, anywhere, hopefully you spend the time and you take that time to learn as you go along.
There's a guy there that's never worked a day in his life in a shop. He just does his own stuff, and he knows a lot. And there's sometimes I have to go to him like, "Hey man, what do you call this?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the Dumaflachi valve, or something,
The flex capacitor.
Yeah, the flex capacitor.
And the watt.
He's only like 32, and he knows a lot. And he's a very good guy too. And there's also sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, there's sometimes that I tell people I don't know, because sometimes if they know, they want you to fix their car, and you're like, I can't fix your car out here in the parking lot. There's a shop down the street. I can tell you how to fix it, or I can tell you what you need, but I can't. We're not allowed to. There's only so much stuff we're allowed to do at that place, because they don't want us doing a whole lot.
Well, one thing, it's not your job. Two, if something goes wrong, not only are you going to be responsible, but they're going to be responsible too.
Exactly. And that's, like we won't even take out some people's taillights. You have to disassemble the taillight assembly to change out the bulbs. And I'm like, yeah, we can't do that. Sorry. Before, if something happens, so we do easy stuff like batteries, and if the headlight's easy to get to, I'll do it, and then wiper blade, mostly wiper blades.
The wiper blades are probably the most tricky thing on a car. I'm not even joking. Like the fact, like when you open up a wiper blade and there's like 4 different connectors for are you fucking serious?
Most of the time you don't even need those.
Yeah, but if you don't know that.
Yeah, it's overwhelming if you don't know, because you're like, what is all this? Most of the time, you don't even need all those. There's like Chevrolets and GMs. They have a special connection for their blades, and then BMWs, of course. Most of your German cars have special connectors and stuff, but
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they?
why wouldn't they? But
I tell everyone before we start, I'm like, I don't talk politics and I don't talk religion. I need to start adding I don't talk foreign cars, because that will probably set me off even more than religion and politics. Again, people don't realize I living in Detroit, your whole family worked for Ford, other than my dad who worked for Chrysler. It's like,
and see, I can't stand Chrysler. I like modern Chrysler anyway. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I'm a Mopar guy.
Yeah, I can't stand them because they're not even Chrysler anymore. They're all mostly Mercedes now.
No, not anymore. They've been bought out numerous times. Now they are Stellantis.
Stellantis, and they use a lot of Renault stuff too.
Yes, because they own Renault.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's
not
called?
Renault? I'm Fiat. I mean, Renault is
Yeah.
Nissan.
Yeah, the Fiat is. They also have an R. I thought an R brand. I don't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
I buy Chrysler. I buy Dodges. I've had one of all my new cars. We've had one Chrysler. All the other ones were Dodges.
Yeah. That's true, Nolan. Why Subaru has their own style blade? You have to buy it. We can get them at my store, but they take like a week to get them.
Again, it is frustrating, and it's kind of like we talked about, like with skateboarding. Like, imagine if like one skateboard wheel had a different size. Like, you had to buy their bearings. It's different. Like, no, dude, it should all be universal. Like, the bearings should all fit the wheels. Now you can have different size wheels. The trucks are all supposed to fit on the board. It's how it's supposed to be. It should be very cut and
That's
dry.
why I like the older stuff better, because a lot of times they all use the same parts. They all use the same concepts and stuff like that. And I like because I worked at a Toyota dealer for a little bit too, and Honda dealer, and those are I prefer Toyota and Honda, unless but I do like Dodge and Chevy trucks. Now I love their trucks. They're built pretty hardy.
You mean Rams? They're no longer
Ram,
Dodge
yeah.
trucks.
Yeah, Ram. I like
That's
their trucks.
I'm sorry. That's the stupidest thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get away from that because
I understand.
this shit was like set me off. Like, again, I'm a Mopar guy, and it was like, why would you go to Ram? Like, they were the Dodge Ram. Like, now it's just the Ram. Like,
Ram.
it makes no sense.
It's rebranding. That's all it is.
I know it was the Ram 1500 or 2500, 3500, whatever. It's just dumb. It's like everyone knows what you buy everything in the exact same dealership now. There's not even like Chrysler, Plymouth, and Jeep. It's all Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because there's no Plymouth. All right, so let's say hi to Deadman jumping in here saying hey. And Deadman, I am going to shoot you a message this week about next month coming on. So I did not forget about you.
I did have a question about Deadman 1 because there's an anime called Deadman Wonderland. I wonder if that's where he got the name from. I was just curious.
Deadman, do you want to tell us in the?
No, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I was just curious.
He says big thumbs up. I don't know. He might be a thumbs up to me. Might be a thumbs up to you.
Nope. Okay. He said nope.
So
okay.
thumbs up.
It was just curious, out of curiosity.
All right. So you graduate, you go to college, you end up working in the automotive industry, doing different stuff like this. Are you collecting anything, comics, toys at this time, or are you just?
I'm still into GI Joe. I got into the classified. I just got her in, and then I still collect the 25th anniversary line or that scale. Because here's my Arctic Hiss.
I really do. I see that at Sergeant Reds all the time, and I guess I'll just wait.
Cool.
I'll wait till the 1/12 one comes out and lands at my doorstep.
I don't know if I'm going to get that one or not.
You're going to get an aftermarket now.
Yeah, I'd have to get on aftermarket, but there's a lot of these classified things I get on aftermarket because I never see in the store, or when they release it, I just don't have any money.
Well, I can't say I understand that because there hasn't been anything that but again, I've worked everything out completely different. Although some of these, I mean, they're starting to not just classify, but all these companies are really starting to eat into eat into my hobby stuff. I'm running out of money. I'll readily admit it. All right.
Yeah, it's between I live by myself, and and I have all these bills and stuff, and then on top of child support eating chunks out of my paycheck every month.
I'm laughing because I understand.
Yeah,
I was literally just looking at it. I'm like,
it takes a chunk
Probably
every
about-
month.
about 15 more months, and then I'm done.
Ooh. So let's see. My son's only 12, and it's set until he's 18, so I still got a few years left.
When my son dropped off, it was like, oh man. And now there's that light, and it's getting bigger. And that tunnel at the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, it's getting larger every day. And even my daughter would be like, just think, child support's only about 15 more months. I'm like, don't worry about that. And it doesn't bother me as much because, again, it's not like my ex is buying all kinds of stuff. It goes towards our kids, but
I don't know what she uses it for, but I'm sure he said he's going to try to watch tonight, so I don't really want to talk too much about it.
So you were always you kept collecting GI Joe, picking stuff up here and there. I mean, was there anything else, or were you just basically a GI Joe collector? So I know money gets tight. Money gets tight. You get married, you have a kid. Money gets tight.
I was
all dealt with that.
I was collecting Joe before I got married to his mom, and I quit when we got married. I quit and I put everything back in storage. And I'd get one or two things here and there, but not much. And because I didn't have anywhere, in our house, I didn't have anywhere to put anything. So whatever I bought, I could only put it on the bookshelf for a few days, and then I'd have to put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the storage, with everything else. So I just didn't get that much. And then when we got divorced, I got back into collecting, and then I met my second wife, and then I stopped again. And then after we got divorced, I went back in it hard.
So so you have a kid, and then you got divorced, got married again. So then you said after that divorce, that's when you were like, I'm moving closer to my son, correct?
Correct.
Or did you move close? Okay. So do you mind me asking what happened between them? Did you just realize that being single is way better?
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of it is my autism. It's hard to deal with, and it's hard for me to get sometimes my point across. I have to go to get my point.
Yeah.
And it is hard to deal with sometimes, and then and then other times I get overwhelmed easy, and I just instead of going outside and doing all this raking that I need to do, I feel overwhelmed, so I'm gonna go take a nap. and that can be frustrating on all parties involved. That can be frustrating, but my second one just she basically found somebody she liked better.
Those are the types of relationships that you go, man, do I want to deal with this again? Do I want to invest so much only to have it thrown in my face?
And she was she had a daughter that we were in the process of me adopting her, and she would call me dad because she didn't even know who her real dad was. And I loved her like my own. I took her on all kind of they would have daddy-daughter dance nights at her school, and I'd go to that a lot. And I'm not a dancer. I hate dancing.
Yeah.
But I did it for her.
And that stuff's difficult because my ex, Emily was 5 when we started dating, and so when we split up at 12 years later, I'd been there for her first day of kindergarten. I was there for her graduation. And, she really took her mom's side. And as time went on, she realized, hey, he's my dad. He's raised me. I've never known my dad. And it ended up, we have a great relationship. I mean, she lives in California, so I don't really see her. No one does because she doesn't come back. But it's difficult because you don't get to.
Thanks, Rooster.
And I've had people like girls that I dated, and they're like, "It's not really your daughter," and I'm like that right there is like,
Yeah, it's like yes, she is.
like yeah. When we're done with this, like when this date is over, like we are done because I'm sorry, like you can't say someone that you've raised for 12 years that you were always her dad. Not always. It takes time, but when the kids came along, you can't say stuff like that. Like, you have these, emotions. You raise these kids, and you're there to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And have it ripped away is awful.
Yeah. It was just, and I haven't seen her since 2018, and so I don't even know what she looks like now. When she was 10 when she left, so when all that happened.
Yeah,
she'd be about 18 now, or she's going to turn 18 this year. So, well, hey, Tristan.
And that's one of those things that I'll say this because I had another relationship before this one that I raised a child for a couple years. You just hope that they're young enough that they don't really have. It doesn't hurt them. I can deal with it with myself. You don't want it to affect them. You hope that they're able to slowly transition and hopefully find another father figure or whoever, or just stand on their own and not have to deal with that. And hopefully don't have pent up feelings like you walked away from them.
Yeah, I worry about that too, but I feel bad for my son.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I feel bad for my son because he called her sissy and sister, and he loved her. And then just recently, about 4 or 5 years ago, his mom got remarried, and of course, and he had 2 kids. Her husband then had 2 kids that he loved them. Love and hate, but they were a little bit younger than he was, but he loved playing with them and stuff like that. But she just recently got divorced, and he's a little bit depressed lately, and I worry about him. But there's only so much I can do, and only see him every other weekend.
Yeah, but you can talk to him, and again, he's young, and that type of stuff's rough, man. I mean, I never had to deal with that, thank God, and my kids have never had to deal with that. I mean, I know that my ex dated someone that had kids actually numerous times, and both my kids were like, yeah, we don't like them.
Yeah. My boy liked him, seemed to be anyway. He did say that he got picked on a little bit too much and teased too much, but I had to talk to I said, hey, what's he doing? And it didn't sound too much like it was too much bad teasing. It just
just if it's a typical kid teasing teenage.
Yeah, that's really all it was, and so that's why I didn't really. I was just like, I'm like, oh, I'm like, son, you're going to get teased some. That's how it's called playful teasing. And you tease them back.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where you really start to, that's where you start to really decide how you're going to be. I mean, I've talked about it numerous times, and I think people can see my attitude. And again, the guys that have met me and hung out with me at Joe Fest, Tony, Darren, I'm pretty much what you see on here is who I am. I might be a little bit more amped up sometimes here, but unlike a lot of the and there's a lot of YouTubers that are like this where they're putting on a show, they're a character. That is so not me. I don't have the patience to try and be somebody else.
I agree.
Being professional in my daily life at work, that's different. I mean, I'm not faking. I'm just being professional, being nice. Where some of these people, it's their shtick. And I've had people say, well, that's your shtick. I'm like, I don't have a shtick. It's who I am. But I've never cared. Like, I can't remember. And I've had people tell me, hey, you know what? You were this happy-go-lucky kid before your mom passed away, and then your mom passed away, and you were just cold. And that might be true, but that was when I was 13. I like to think that I would have eventually become cold, even had she not passed away. So when do you get back into collecting? Is it when you get that second divorce?
Yeah, when I got that second divorce, like I the first thing I bought was the Desert Fox.
I have that.
That was the first thing that I bought.
So the wheels are broken,
Mm.
so they go in whatever way, but I'm not really playing with it. I've never had it, but it's one of those ones where I really, really like. That's something newer. So quickly, Tim Brower says, "I think that's why I collect more than what I usually did. My fiance suffered a brain aneurysm back in March of 2021. Sorry to hear that. Now she's home, but our lives are definitely changed. Now I try to get as much as I can. Maybe not. Hopefully everything sounds like. I mean, if it's been that long, hopefully things will get as normal as can be. I've had to deal with a lot of health issues with my ex, but nothing like that somehow with all her medical issues. I still worry about my ex and something happened. I'm like, you need to get a boyfriend. So something does happen. You're not living back here with me. I like you. I love you, man. Like, you gave me 2 beautiful children and, a stepdaughter, but I don't want you living here. And she doesn't want to live here either. All right. So you get back into collecting once you get your second divorce. And what did you start collecting? Do you collect only one thing, or are you
just G.I. Joe? I got back into G.I. Joe, and yeah, I did get the skid mark, and then but the Desert Fox that I had came with a OG skid mark. But I started in on the modern, the Collectors Club and stuff like that. So I bought the Collectors Club, where they call him Treadmark. They changed his name. So I bought that one and put him in the Desert Fox. Then I bought a couple of green shirts and put them in there as crew. It is good therapy. I agree.
It can be, and then to realize how much I spent that much money on toys last month. Holy shit!
Yeah, I accidentally what was that thing? The Radar Rat. It was on a bidding. There we go. Couldn't think of the name for a second. It was a bidding, and I meant to only put up to 50, bidding up to 50, but I accidentally put 500. And because it was a complete inbox Radar Rat. And I thought I only put up to $50 in there, but I put $500 on there. I wound up paying $475 for this dang thing. I should have canceled it, but I was like, I've already paid for it. Heck with it. But I paid $475 for a Radar Rat.
$450 for
just a Radar Rat. I meant to inbox Radar Rat, and I did wind up opening it and put it. It's on the shelf now, but that's one thing that I was just like, oh, I should have done that. But I just had moved here where I'm at now, and yeah, wow.
How much is that thing? I want my book. Like, how much is that thing even worth?
Well, that was the only one that I ever found that was complete. All the ones that I found incomplete were like $30-$40, but and I could have pieced one together, but I found one mint in box. So I was just like, I wouldn't mind having that. But at the time it started, starting bid was only like $30, so I was like, yeah, that's okay. And like I said, I meant to put 50 in there, so I actually put 500, and it got up to 475 or 480 somewhere. I mean, it was just a crazy amount. Then I woke up the next morning because the bidding when it got off at like midnight, and I was asleep by then. So then I woke up in the morning. I saw this $400 and something charge on my card, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Wow, I should have. I think tomorrow I should have a Warthog. I found a Warthog on eBay, and I forgot to bid on it, and then it went back up, and I bought it for $61.
Hey, nice.
And it's missing 2 of the belts, and then it has one of the pieces that has, at least from what I can see, that has the flares. I think the flares on it is broken off. But I looked at it, I'm like, this looks like it's in pretty good shape. Warthogs complete go for $150 or more, and I got it for $61, and shipping was like $17, so under $80.
Nice.
Never had one, and I kept looking at one at Sergeant Reds, and I was like, I really want this. So I'm getting excited. Hopefully, it's in as good a shape as it looks like it is.
Hopefully, the closest there's like a antique toy store near me is like almost an hour and a half away, and it's called Total Nostalgia in Trinity, Alabama, and that place is awesome. They got all kinds of good stuff in there. It's huge, and they also take trade-ins, and so like, and Dad has a bunch of old records and stuff that he don't care about. He's like, I'll just take these in and go trade them. I'm like, all right. And sometimes, I find old stuff that I don't really want anymore, or I had a bunch of old. I had like extra baseball cards. I had like 3 or 4 copies of the same card. So I'm like, I don't need all this extra copies. So I had a big fat stack of like that much baseball cards of just extras, and then I had a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon and stuff like that. I went in there and traded them, and like I got all. That's how I got the Terrordrome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wound up getting the Terrordrome, and it's complete and good shape. So I was like, and then I traded some stuff to get that the Arctic Kiss.
That's nice. I got my Terrordrome from my parents when I was.
Well, I would have loved to have all that stuff, and I remember seeing the Defiant Complex when I was a kid. I remember seeing that, but I didn't really care much for it then because I was into Star Trek and stuff like that, and a few of my friends had it, and I wish I had gotten it because I want one now.
That is my holy grail. I wanted a Warthog. Now that I've ordered one, I'll see it. Hopefully it's in, like I said, good condition. The Defiant is my holy grail. It was shortly after my time. Or else I clearly would have had it. I mean, I had the flag, I had the Terrordrome, I have everything. Anything I wanted. So I'm sure I would have had that too.
That was me too.
Now, they had one for I think it might have even been under 1,000 or right around 1,000 at Joe Fest. And I wouldn't even go look at it because they're like, hey, he said he'd take this much. And it was something I had the money. And I wouldn't even go over because I'm like, I know I'll end up buying it. And I'm actually kind of glad because when I had Patrick Stewart on, like from the Full Force, he was like, it would have never made it home. He goes, that thing is so delicate that, I have one, and the only way that I'll move it is if my brother is with me to grab the other side to move it. But that is my holy grail. One day, but I'm not.
One day. A guy at Joe Fest this year or this past year, he had one. It was only missing like 2 things that he was missing the figure, of course, which they make a modern figure of hardtop, and I was like, yeah, I don't care if it's missing or not. Then it was missing one of the fins, and he was asking like $1,500 for it, and like I had my credit card on me. I was like just so tempted to be like, here,
So Super Davin said, did you get the Mobile Command Center? That was the same time as the Defiant. I did not. I regret the repainted Mobile Command Center that I used to walk by, and it was clearance, but I didn't care about toys at the time. That's another one of the grails, and I'm getting one. I'm getting one at Joe Fest. Woody 222 and I have already discussed it. I'm getting that, a Mamba, and I think the General maybe. I don't know. It's one other thing. That we've already agreed on it. So Debo's saying it was 700. Was it 700? Not.
There was a guy there too that had a complete one at his booth. It was complete and it looked really good. And he was asking like $15,000 or $20,000 or something like that.
Yes, there was a complete flag in the box and Defiant in the box. And Debo, God, are you sure, Derek? Because it really was. Now I'm like, it seems super low. Now I'm like, I kick myself about not getting it. I'm never gonna find another one for 700.
Yeah, I definitely want the mobile command center, but I'm out of room right now. I'm at the point I don't want to start hollowing out trees in my backyard to put stuff in.
Mobile command center, the mobile command center, the Mamba I can hang, the mobile command center, and I think it's the general. I was literally just looking at it.
I wouldn't mind having it. I remember seeing the general as a kid, but it was expensive.
That is a problem for after Joe Fest. Because all my O-ring stuff is in one room, and well, it's out of room. I mean, you guys have seen the tour of it. And again, when you have a 7.5 foot aircraft carrier, it takes up so much space. Okay, so here's what Debo's saying. He said the dude in the hallway after hours, it needed a little work, but not much. Maybe that's what I think it was like just under 1,000. Because I think it was over, and then someone had asked him, and he said,
I do remember there was a guy that was selling.
And I wouldn't even go look at it because I'm like, I have the money, but
I didn't.
Well, again, I have the money, and by having the money means I could put it on something. But even then, now I'm starting to. I didn't look at it, so I don't know what type of condition it was in. But even 900, 700, I'm like kicking myself. That's what it was. I might be on the lookout this year. I can't do it this year because I'm going to Disney World right after that. Like literally from Joe Fest straight down to Orlando for Disney and Universal.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm missing Joe Fest this year. I promised my son that.
Derek, that's exactly what you said at the time. I don't lie. I don't make up stories. Like now I'm just
just buy a flag and live in it. Yeah, I agree.
You can sleep on it. It is large enough. 7.5 feet long. I've had people make jokes like, "Oh, the flag's taller than you are." I'm like, "The flag's taller than you," and then they have to stop and go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
If your name's not I think it's even tall. How tall is Shaq? 7'4"?
I think he's 7'3", 7'4", somewhere.
Yeah, he's taller than Shaq. So that's when people like look really stupid.
Hey, I'm 6'1", and it's taller than me.
3-star says you could always if you take PayPal and do the 6-month plan. Just saying.
Yeah.
Only if it's a storefront. Okay, so you get back into collecting in, you said around what, 2018, but you're like, I was just like G.I. Joe, which when my ex left, I was just like, hey, you know what? And I used to collect a lot of stuff. I had Power of the Force, I had Spawn stuff, I had all kinds of stuff. But I was like, hey, you know what? I just want to start picking up the O-ring stuff, and this I still do. But then the foreign stuff came out, and then I don't even know how I really got into classified. I don't even know how I came across it. Classified has clearly led to so much more. For a while it led to Valaverse, but it's led to the Marvel Legends, Operation Monster Force, Motu Origins. I'm just looking around, Mythic Legions, AWOC, like. It is taking me to a completely. I never thought I'd be here, but also I never thought I'd be doing a YouTube channel where people give two shits about what I have to say on one show, let alone multiple shows and watching reviews and stuff like that.
Exactly. I
just want to do this really quick. Stu for lunch here with a membership for 4 months, so you get the
fucking Phil Collins.
And he says, love these Thursdays. Love these Thursday shows, Punk. I think that's what he meant. Thanks for the fun. Hey, you know what? Thank you for tuning in. And I'm glad that people enjoy it. I've said before, I'm more proud of this show, even though it's not as popular as Monday. I'm more proud of this show than any other thing that I'm
I
doing.
enjoy these shows. I do. I enjoy getting to know people.
And that's what this whole thing was, man. I'm gonna let you get back. I'd watch these big channels. I'd watch these big channels, and I'd see people in the chat, and I'd always be like, "What is their story?" And I couldn't be the only one wondering. And that's the whole reason why this started. It was like people that I didn't want to get. Everyone wants to get like the big YouTuber that's gonna help me grow my channel, or I'm gonna get, Ace from, Ramen Toys, or which I could get Ace because I've talked to Ace numerous times. He actually pops in from time to time. He's the type of person I would get, but I don't want to just get like the big. I never wanted a person that's just gonna help me out. I wanted to talk to the people that have supported me. So anyway, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. Matthew must just be listening because normally he'd jump in and say it's always all about Punk, and I feel like I got to message Ed and find out if he's still alive. Better be, because he's the one I'm splitting a room with at Joe Fest. All right, so you get 2018, you start picking up G.I. Joe. Now there's no classified at this time.
No.
So are you getting O-ring and like the modern 4-inch, or
I get the modern, but if they don't make a character in the modern, I'll get the O-ring.
Okay. Does it bother you mixing the two?
Not at all.
Because like I've said, it doesn't bother me mixing the modern 4-inch with the O-ring. But when you look at the Haya figures, which are 4.1, you're starting to get too far out of scale. And when it comes like classified, I cannot mix a 7-inch figure with classified. It's out of scale. But the 4-inch to 3.75 don't bother me.
And I find most, and I even buy like I got the Badger here. So this is the original Badger, but I got a modern barricade in it. If I can open it, I got the modern barricade in it.
That is something I do not have.
It fits just. I remember this. I'm pretty sure I had this as a kid, but I'm not 100%. I remember it. Either I had it or a friend of mine had it, because I remember that thing. And I remember playing with it. Of course, his didn't have a flag on it, but.
And I know as I'm doing all these modern or the classic reviews, after this series, there's a huge drop off in vehicles that I had and figures. Like, I know exactly when I found skateboarding. As I'm going through that book, and I'm like, oh, this is when I really started skateboarding. So you're picking up modern 4-inch. I guess they weren't considered modern 4-inch, but those are 4-inch figures. You're picking up vehicles. When do you find out about classified? Is it right away, or?
Pretty much right away. I remember seeing, advertisements for them on the internet and stuff like that. But of course, when they first came out, they looked very, what's that game there all the kids play? Fortnite. They look very Fortnite-y to me.
Yes. I remember doing the first review of the Havoc figure, which was clearly an homage to Firefly. And I'm like, hey, because we didn't know, we had no idea where it was going to go. So I remember getting that. I still have the figure. I'm waiting for it to shoot out to be worth like $1,000 so I can sell it. I'm never going to do that. So were you instantly drawn to classified, or did you look at it and go, eh?
It was more of an thing, but again, it started out just because when I get my son on the weekends, I'm always thinking what to do with him. What can we go? Where can we go? What can we do? Because again, in this small town, there's nothing to do here. And so I was just thinking, what am I going to do with him? So we started going out. We're going an hour this way, hour that way. Just we're just driving all over, and then I happened up on Walmart to find the Duke. That was the first classified that I got.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, hey, look, they got the new classifieds out." And I looked at it, I'm like, "It's very Fortnite looking, but I'm going to get them just because it's G.I. Joe." And then, then they started releasing more and more, and then it became kind of like a my son and I thing, where we just go out and hunt for Joes and get classifieds. it just kind of became something that for me and him to do, you know.
No, and that's absolutely awesome. And quickly here, Triple D's Toy Dungeon or Daredevil Dave. I
You
don't know
know.
why I changed the name. He gets the
Fucking Phil Collins.
for 14 months. So it was really a thing between you and your son. Now, did you start to like it, or
Yeah, I mean, I like it. They're cool, and you know, I like them because you can go to the store and you can buy yourself a Joe, you know, and they look good. They got a lot of good features and a lot of good. And of course, there's some things here and there like the gummy guns that everybody complains about, but that's one thing I liked about the guns being gummy is because my cats knock everything over all the time.
you know?
And,
So
and with,
I know people hate the gummy weapons, and the really gummy weapons I'm with. I had a one of the spear guns was literally just wrapped around. Same with Desert Snake Ice sword. But most people don't really even play with the toys. So once you set the figure up, as long as you can straighten it out, it doesn't really matter. And you're right, they don't really break, unlike a lot of other brands, whether it be, Valaverse. They've been known to be very rigid. I've had Operation Monster Force break. We know what happens to 3D printed stuff. That stuff falls and it snaps. One piece flies across the room, the other piece is the other way, and guys holding a grip, and you're like, "Fuck you."
yeah. Yeah, I started getting Delta 17 stuff too, and my cat knocked over. I like literally last Tuesday I got Shadow Dragon, and the day after my cat knocked it over, and the little horns that stick up on his helmet broke. And I was so mad because I'm like, that dumb cat, knocking over everything and cracked it. But I got in touch with them, and I got in touch with them, and they sent me a replacement. And I told them what happened. I said, hey, look, it's not y'all's fault. It's my fault, or my cat's fault, really. But I don't mind paying for it. And they're like, we got you, So they sent me a whole new head, And I'm like, okay, appreciate that,
And again, that's how it should be. I recently had a Savage Crucible. He fell off the top shelf, and his mace broke. And I reached out to them and said, hey, I don't really want to buy another figure. I'd like to get another mace. Do you happen to have one that I could purchase? And they said, hey, nope, we'll send it back. We'll send you one once we get back. And they did. And it's like little things like that. They go further than what people realize. Hasbro, they don't give a shit. Mattel, they don't care. They're $1 billion corporation. We're just a number. But a company like that, it's not only, hey, you're a loyal fan. You just told 37 people watching right now, and all the people that watch on the replay, oh shit, Delta 17 is going to take care of you, even if it's your fault. Savage Crucible, they're going to take care of you, even if it was your dumbass fault that the figure fell off the shelf.
I can't imagine living with 12 cats. I got 2, and that's more than
I can't imagine living with one cat, because I have these stray cats that my dog hates. I hate them even more because,
sometimes they spray and that stuff stinks. But I got 2 girl cats that are they're fixed, and they have a cat door where they can come and go as they please, so I don't have to deal with any cat boxes. But they're my girls though. I love them to death. They're they're extremely spoiled. Like I spoil them rotten.
And again, I mean, that's how I feel about Roman. I mean, people know. I mean, Roman was never supposed to be part of the show, and he's become a huge part of the show. And unfortunately,
because we don't love Roman. He's a good boy.
His leg, I don't want him going up and down the steps.
Yeah, hopefully, I hope it heals soon.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry that it's going to be. I'm starting to worry it's going to be surgery. So it's going to be. Yeah, I mean he's starting to walk on it, but it's definitely crooked in. I'm taking him in at the end of the month and seeing if it's progressing. If not, then that expensive ass surgery. But the biggest thing, and I've mentioned it before, the biggest thing about the surgery is you have to keep him sedated. He has too much power, and again, he saw one of the cats, and I didn't notice it because I've been letting him out because he hasn't been running. And I open up, and I didn't see the cat hook off, which then you're yelling at him because
Yep. You're like, stop it.
yes, he's either gonna hurt that knee again or the ACL, which is hopefully repairing, or he's gonna tear the other one, and that's really gonna be bad. Because that goes Joe Fest then. Like that's like Joe Fest.
Yeah, unfortunately. But my friend Michael that was on, or the Wiggles, he says bye everybody. He enjoyed the show. He just texted me personally.
Oh.
He said he has to go. They're in Eastern time too, so they're in Georgia still. And he said I gotta go to bed tonight. Tell everybody night for me.
10. Who sleeps? I slept 4 hours I slept 4 hours last night. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a nap. I didn't take a nap today because I've been watching the Lincoln Lawyer, and I'm almost to the end. I got like one episode left. I'm like,
No, if I don't get 8 hours, I'm angry.
8 hours. I slept 8 hours. I'll hit that point where I will pass out. I will lay down at 9 o'clock. And I will wake up at like 4 in the morning. You're like, holy shit! And then I'll crash again and wake up at 6:30, whenever it's time.
Overall.
But 8 hours a night. I
get 6 to 8.
It's 6. Dude. Where's is Matthew not listening? Because he's got to be like 6 to 8 hours. Are you?
But yeah, on 3 Star and Pop's channel, there's a running gag because when I get home from work, and even watching you sometimes, when I get home from work, I kick back in my chair, and I pass out after I ate my dinner, and I kick back in my chair, and I'm laying back, and I usually have you on my TV. What I usually do is I bring my phone up so I can talk in the chat, but I have you on my Xbox on my TV.
Yeah.
So I can hear better. And then sometimes I pass out in that chair, and then sometimes I'll wake up, especially on Pop's channel. I wake up like right when he's signing off. I'm like, the chair got me again.
See, I'll finish. I finish Monday, and I finish after midnight. I'm wide awake. It's like when I would go to the gym at night, I'm wide awake. And I had a buddy, he was a personal trainer. I'm like, when you get done working out, like, do you have a hard time going to sleep? He's like, nope. Like, really? He's like, I just pass right out. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't pass right out. It usually takes me about an hour or two to fall asleep. But when I get home from work, I've been there since my hours are usually 9 to 9.
Oof.
Yeah, that's usually my hours, and I'm on my feet the whole time. I said, yeah, Pop. That's a magic chair.
No, I'm kind of with Pop here. I will finish, and I'll be wide awake. I will be wound up. But I also, and I don't know why, but I have this fear that something is going to happen while I'm asleep, like in the world. I'm going to get a message. Like, there is nothing in my life other than something horrific, like with a family member or whatever, that cannot wait if I decided to go to bed at 11 and wake up at 6. There's nothing in this world, but in my mind, like
well, that's one thing about I know it's living by yourself, and then I live in it's a small town, but there's a lot of drugs here, unfortunately, and there's a lot of meth heads that are out and about, and there's a lot of break-ins, and for people stealing money or stealing stuff to get drugs. But but like when I sleep better in my chair than I do in my own bed. Because when I get home, I kick that chair back and I pass out. But then, like when I get in the bed, I guess, of course, too, it could be just because I slept it all out. Then when I get up around 11 or 12 at night, I'm up, and then I finally fall back asleep about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and again, and I thought when you got older, it's supposed to sleep more. Supposed to, no, it's not. It's not. Four
It's
hours,
sporadic.
4 hours of sleep, and we're good. All right, so
Yeah.
let's get okay. So you get back in, you're collecting GI Joe. You get declassified, and how much did you go in? Are you all in on classified? Do you have them all, or
No, I don't have them all. I have a lot. I have quite a bit, but I did. The only HasLab that I missed was the Dragonfly,
okay?
and I plan on getting that. There's a seller on eBay that's selling it for. He's selling one with all tiers for a decent price. So I got that in saved card. I'm gonna eventually get it, but there's still a lot to get, but there's still a lot of them I plan on getting.
Get them when they come out. That's when they're going to be. Well, I guess that's when they're the cheapest, but that's when you know that will be the cheapest.
Yeah, and there's some pre-orders that I do, but that's why me and my son, we go out and we go travel, and then a lot of times what I do is I go on a day off. I'll drive over to GameStop. There we go. Braining. We go over to GameStop and I'll do a pre-order, and then when I have him, we'll go over there and I'll pick it up with him, and then I'll let him pick because he doesn't really care anything about action figures or anything. He's more into games, but he does like Pokemon cards. So
Okay.
I'll let him pick out some, because I don't know if your GameStop does it or not, but they started selling individual Pokemon cards.
I don't ever go into GameStop. Very seldom will I stop in there. I have everything. So, I mean, I love finding stuff in the store. But it is less and less.
It is. It's so hard.
Now it's more like looking for clearance. Now it's looking for clearance. Where very seldom do I find something in a Target or Walmart that is that isn't on pre-order that I haven't already gotten. Sergeant Reds, now I've been getting a bunch of stuff from there because Entertainment Earth has been shipping stuff. So
yeah, my Walmart never has anything, Joe. It's the only figures that my Walmart has is, of course, the wrestling figures, that new Turtles, the new Turtles, and then they had a Jurassic Park. That's it. They don't even have Transformers.
wow,
Yeah,
that's a sure seller too.
I know. And they don't even. Well, I take that back. They just started getting Transformers. I take that back. But still, they don't have any. That's all they got. And then the rest of the aisle is Nerf and Hot Wheels. And then, like I said, the other side is all the Barbies and the dolls and stuff for the girls. And then on the other side is the bikes and the bike helmets and stuff. And that's it. All the rest of the Walmart is either hunting, fishing, and groceries.
That's crazy.
And we also have an airport. It's like a little private airport. But it's the airport, automotive service station, and a haircut place.
Whoa. You have an airport that is an automotive station, which I can kind of see that.
Oh, and the police station too. Yeah, the police station's there too. But yeah, it's a real tiny airport. But yeah, they got a haircut place in it. They got a full service station and the police station's in. That's a small town. Man.
Would you like to watch the planes land while I cut your hair, or would you like to?
The airport's hardly even used. Like, there's one guy that uses it as he's got some kind of like parasail thing. I
think
much is what it is, a drug running airport. But
I think Darren just nailed why you said there's so many drugs in your small town.
Well, you hear them leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning. You hear these airplanes leaving at 3 in the morning. You're like, dang well,
Have you ever seen the guy from Blow in your neighborhood?
No.
Have you ever seen the movie Blow?
No.
Oh, it's based on a true story. Johnny Depp plays the main character, and he became like the biggest drug runner, I think in the 70s, and he's sitting in prison now. I think he has dementia, probably passed away by now. Blow, it's 20 years old. Really good movie, and
I don't, as you know, I have bad attention span, and I usually don't have time. You know, I can't sit through a whole movie. I have to watch like 5 or 10 minutes at a time. I have to watch it, then I pause it and go off do something else, and then about an hour later I'll come back, watch another 10 minutes of it, go off somewhere else, and then
Well, again, that's why you can pause it if you're at home.
you know, that's
All
why
right.
I don't go to movies very often. The theater, I mean,
So you're collecting G.I. Joe. Now, do you get into YouTube? Are you watching YouTube? What makes you say, hey, you know what? I should do something on YouTube? Is it that
well,
you found this wonderfully handsome bald man that does a show and you're like, I can do that. If this fucking idiot can do it, I can do it.
it started out as me watching Hooded Cobra Commander. That's what it
Okay.
started out as, because I didn't even know. You know, I watched YouTube, but I didn't know of this. You know, the toy stuff. You know, I didn't even thought about it. To me, YouTube was just to watch like cat videos and America's Funniest Home Videos and stuff like that. You know, that's what YouTube was to me before all this. And then I found Hooded Cobra Commander, and then from him I found Forum BX 257, and then
He had a lot of good content. I really liked Form BX
yes,
258 4321.
I think it's 257. I don't know. I can't remember.
I found where that's from though. I didn't. That's from I think the G.I. Joe, one of the G.I. Joe cartoons. Form B. Someone will tell me in the comments. I think Darren knew. Like Form BX2, like it is from. I want to say one of the D cartoons. Did I say
Really?
comics? I meant cartoons. I think it's from one of the cartoons. So
Oh no,
oh,
Matthew.
Matthew said, just been busy. My dog is 12 and just diagnosed with Cushing syndrome. Darn pets always costing a lot. Also, I watched the Savage Crucible live stream. Lots of cool stuff there. Catch the replay after. Yeah.
But, yeah. Going back, I was watching him, then I started, then I got into What's on Joe Mind, and then just going from, then yours pops up on there one day on a suggestion, and I started watching you, and I've been watching you since. And then seeing Pop and 3-Star in the chat, and I started watching them, and it just kind of just started branching out from there, and then going to Joe Fest and meeting people, and hey, you should, oh, have you heard it? No, I didn't. You should watch this, and
So the first stream that you caught was not the one where I went off on Shark News for the copyright strikes, right?
No, I did see that, but no, I had already been watching you before then.
Because I don't know if I retained anyone from that. I know people are still around that that watched it, but I don't think I gained any from losing my shit on that one. No, again, this becomes very, very addictive. And the more the channels grow, and
It's fun.
the easier it becomes for you as you start to create stuff, whether it be live streams, going on other people's streams. It becomes very addicting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way to talk to people. Like
it is.
Like I've talked about it before. Like if I go to punk shows, right? Like you're hanging out with them at a show. I go skateboard. I go to the parks, or back in the day when we went to setups, or you're skating with the people. But when it comes to like toys and this type of hobby, you're not. I mean, I went into Sergeant Reds, and there was 3 people that knew me. Three people that knew me from YouTube and going in there, but you don't hang out like outside of seeing us here or whatever.
I don't know. I wish I could find somebody to hang out with that was in the same thing, but everybody here is either hunting, fishing, and I'm very indoorsy now. I don't. It's too hot or too cold outside. I'm like, I'm going to stay inside in the climate.
Shane says he turned off the live stream so he could watch that one that I went off on. Okay, so here it is. Forum BX 257 was Hopper Baroness paperwork that was required for the Joes. And, okay, that's what it was. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'll have to watch that again to see.
Yeah, I didn't know
never
that.
paid
I think
attention.
I was watching the episode and it popped up and I went, oh shit, that's where it came from.
Okay,
So-
that's neat.
So when did you first start like attempting to do YouTube?
I got the idea from Hooded Cobra Commander, and then I started thinking because my son, every time he comes over, the first thing he asks, "What'd you get? What'd you get? What's new? You know, what new Joes did you get, or what new whatever you got?" And so I started, and I started, well, you know, this is what I got, this is what I got, and so I started taking videos of unboxing stuff and sending it to him, through text messages and stuff. And then he just casually, he said, "Hey, why don't you put these on YouTube so I can watch your YouTube and then I can show it to my friends and stuff." And I'm like, like I said, it's just for him. It started off as just for him, and I was just like, well, yeah, all right. And then some people started showing up and, talking and I'm like, oh, okay. And I wasn't expecting anybody to enjoy anything I had. Cause I'm literally just unboxing. Hey, look what I got,
You don't know what you're doing when you start. Like you really don't. You're
I had
just
no
like,
idea.
you have no idea. And you do, again, I leave my stuff up there. So you can watch that first classified review. It is awful. And like, talk about someone who has no idea of what the fuck. I'm literally walking in because I didn't know. Oh, I can literally cut this out. I literally walk past my bar into the frame. No, I'm so far away. I'm like, here you are. Like, why didn't you even watch that? Now, how it ended up to where it became, who knows? Quickly, I just want to say Royal Roosters Roller Coaster. Hey, if you want to hear it, you go to my live streams after this. Just go to the most popular, and it is the most popular one, and you will hear me go fucking off.
I remember seeing it was a while back, but I do remember. I remember watching that.
It was it over 2 years ago now?
Yeah, about 2 years. Yeah,
It was.
I was still new to your channel then, but I had been watching you a little bit before then.
It was the day that I was taking the pictures for Tuco Viper. I mean, I was all set. I was shipping it back the next day, and it caused me to keep it, but it didn't. It actually worked out because the next week that's when Mick Foley was going to Sergeant Reds. So I reached out to Darren and I go, hey, you kind of know what happened. I was taking the pictures. It was going out. I go, but do you mind if I keep it? Because Mick Foley's going to be at Sergeant Reds. He's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Mick Foley has pictures with Tuco Viper.
I'm sad I missed out on Tuco Viper, but I think I started watching 3 Star after he had already announced that it was going out.
Well, if you talk to him, I think he can probably make it. As long as it's going to, like, again, you have to watch what he says. There were some people that took their sweet old time, and some of the people were like, I don't know why he's mad. Like, try and set something like this up, and you're going to have frustration, and you're going to be mad. Like, why can't you communicate that, hey, like, he could see what happened with me, and I still reached out, was like, hey, Darren, if you need me to get out tomorrow, I will. And he was like, hey, you know what? Go do what you wanted to do. I think that's actually pretty cool. So I had it longer than I was supposed to, but I also reached out to him and talked to him.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I don't know why he's so mad. Like, I know exactly why he's fucking mad.
Me too. I get it.
Yeah, that first year that I made the Power of the Force, the frustration or the worry that someone wasn't going to do something. Oh, hey, look, like your moderator, like it sits there. Hooded Cobra Commander deciding that he no longer wanted to do. What was the G.I. Joe? What's the G.I. Joe one that he did? The G.I. Joe event that he was doing. Cobra Convergence.
Yeah, Cobra Convergence. Yeah.
Like I understand exactly. It's frustrating. Trying to set that up, trying to schedule people when they're gonna it's
trying to get pictures in at a certain time, and
yeah, it's not a lot of fun. Like so, yeah, like when
I
when
did a couple of them.
yeah, and if you guys, I will rag on Darren about a lot of shit. I will tell, oh look, Darren's mad about this new figure. Like, but when someone's like, yeah, he was a little over, I think he was a little too mad. Like, no, fuck you. Like, he had every right to be pissed off because you had that thing for, I'm yeah, 3 weeks or whatever. Like, people had it too long, and so he's just like really, really like this one. He's like, hey, if you're gonna have it longer than this, you need to let me know because people are
Yeah, let me
waiting
know.
and trying to get it, and there's certain things that he wants certain people to have it at certain times. So, all right, so that's what you kind of did there. You started making some videos so your son can see it. Um, when do you start deciding, hey, I can do some live streams, I can go on streams with other people?
Oh well, like from watching you and watching 3 Star and Pop and some others, I was like, hey, why not? Because again, I living out in the middle of nowhere, I don't really have many people to talk to, and just and it's too. I've only been here coming up on 6 years now, but I still don't know a whole lot of people in this town, and so I'm like, there's really nobody to talk to, and if I do talk to people, that their hobbies does not match anything near mine. And because they want to do hunting and fishing and all that stuff, and so I'm like, well, why not get on live stream and chat with some people and have fun, and the more people the merrier. Of course, I mean, unfortunately, I'm going to run into drama, and I don't want any, but but I want to talk to people, and I want to get to learn more people and know people, and it's fun.
It really is, and again, I mean, for me, I can't speak for everyone. Again, I want to do it in Matthew. I've numerous times that he was the one I bounced everything off. And I always say, I don't want to be connected with anyone, which I have become connected with people. But I was like, I either wanted to, and I know my attitude. I know that I can really piss people off, and some people will gravitate to what I do, and other people will be like, he's a piece of shit asshole, whatever. But it's one of those things where I was like, I'm either going to sink or swim on my own. There's a lot of people that have been attached to other people. That's how they grow it. And then you see, like, when that person's done with them, like, they just completely sink because that whole group of people are like, well, if these guys don't like you, I don't like you either. And as you get to know more and more people, you realize, like, I can make friends. And this is what I said. Like, I realized my son has made real friends playing video games. Because I was like, these aren't your real friends. You don't know these people. Then you have to take it all back when you start actually meeting people and getting to know these people. And you see their mannerism. I say, like, the only thing you don't know when you're doing live streams, how you and I know we've met, is you don't really know how tall someone is or how big someone is. That's really the only thing. You see their mannerisms. You hear their voice. You can see my hands. Clearly, I know I talk about being Mexican. Clearly, I am Italian because the hands are constantly going. And
you always do this when you talk too.
I could though. This finger is really hurting. Matthew says you are abrasive. I guess that's why we get along. And it's because I can give you shit, Matthew. I give Matthew a lot of shit in our
Or give one of those old Walmarts.
And let's see. Tim Brower says I enjoy watching these. Learned a lot on certain things. Meet some good people also, and that's the biggest thing. It's. I didn't expect to meet people. I didn't expect nothing. To make such good friends. The fact that I can say that a guy that lives in Arizona is one of my best friends is crazy. And not some guy that moved to Arizona, some guy that's lived in Arizona his entire life, with the name of a shitty quarterback. I'm sorry, the most average quarterback of all time. who would have ever thought that, he would somehow be one of my best friends? I can say this because even if he's listening, he'll forget it by the time I talk to him tomorrow on, Punk's Pit, because he has the worst memory of anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
No, I got pretty bad memory too. I met Collector Pete through all this, and he wound up sending me a custom figure he did. And he asked what figure I liked, and I told him it was Low Light's my favorite, and he sent me this, and it looks fantastic.
No, that does, and that's another thing. Like I said I said in my recent classified animals video that I did at the end, and because I talked about getting my custom Roman that Tony did. I said this is why you make friends in the community, and some asshole said, "Oh, I thought you made friends to make friends. I didn't know it was to get free shit." Like, all right, really, you want to read into it like that?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you make friends in the community not to get free stuff, but because people want to send you stuff, and you want to send other things to people. Like, you become friends with them. It's not to get free shit.
no, I don't look anything for free. I don't want nothing free, because I have a hard time receiving gifts, because I'm like, let me pay you for this, or let me give you something in exchange for it. Or they, oh, I don't want nothing. Don't worry. I'm like, I gotta do something,
And Roy, I didn't say the greatest quarterback of all time. I said the most average quarterback of all time. Stafford is by far not an average quarterback. I got to watch him for many years in Detroit when people said he was. He is anything but average, and now people see it. He was just in a very bad organization. Although I don't think he's as great as other people think he is now. He's still on the exact same. No, and
yeah,
people, that's what friends do.
That's what friends do.
Yeah. And so when I said, like, hey, this is what I was trying, what I was saying, and I think again, it doesn't, I'm saying this is why you make fucking friends, man. Because friends do shit for each other, right?
Yeah,
Not just because you get free stuff.
Yeah. Like, I used to, there's a couple of people that, like, working at the automotive store, sometimes old ladies come in there and they're in a panic because they're like, their husband passed away and they don't know what to do about their car. It needs brakes and they can't afford it.
If their husband passed away, they should bury him.
Well,
get him out of the car. Get him out of the car.
Get him out of the car. Yeah.
Look, they're stinking soon.
Yeah, but they're panicking. They're like, well, I'm on a fixed income. I can barely afford this. And I'm like, well, tell you what, you buy the brakes. And, I work for food, man. I do. That's it, and I'm like, you don't even have to pay me. Just feed me and I'm all right. And I said, I'll do this brake job for you. And these old ladies, oh, I appreciate that so much. And because I'm like, it's brakes are easy to do to me, especially, I got power tools. Yeah, I can do a brake job in like 15 minutes if everything goes right. But
and again, it's one of those things, something like that. It makes you feel good. Like you made someone just feel good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You've helped them out. You probably relieved a little bit of stress off them, and it's a little bit of time for you. But how much does it mean to other people?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we've discussed it here. I've discussed it numerous times. At Joe Fest, there's a lot of people that just stop and talk to me. And I'm like, I would rather stop and talk to someone for 5 minutes that's never going to go tell anyone, oh, I had a great conversation with them, rather than me blow them off and be like, yeah, that punk is just an asshole. Like, I'll say, like, actors and athletes, you'd never want to be known as a bad tipper. They're never going to remember who tips well, but they will sure remember, oh yeah, remember that $30 million movie that you made and you didn't even tip us, or you gave us like a 5% tip. People remember that shit. You don't want to be remembered like that.
I was like, no. And my favorite restaurant here in town is it used to be called What was it called? It was O'Brien's. Yeah, that's it. It used to be called O'Brien's, but now it's Lovett Steakhouse. And it's just a little, mom and pop steakhouse. But man, that place is delicious, man. And I go in there so often, they know me by name. It's just like, hey, Josh, how's it going? Your usual? I'm like, yeah, I always want a steak and baked potato. That's what I always want.
Yeah, no, and that's, I mean, again, that's. So again, that guy that made the comment, it's funny because I'll never understand why people leave such dickheadish comments. It doesn't affect me. Like, I don't lose any sleep. I'll just never understand it. Like, when I was 20, maybe I'd do something like that if we had this. If I was 20 now. But I look at things. I'm like 50 years old. I'm like, I don't have the energy to hit the thumbs down button because I don't like the content you created. I don't have the energy to tell you how stupid you are. I have no problem stopping and, maybe constructive criticism or correcting something. And it's very hard to correct someone in a video. You have to do it in a way that you're letting them know, hey, I just want to let you know that there might be this. Because I see the people that will correct me, and I have no problem with people that are correcting me. But when people are dickheads about it, then it's kind of like, oh, let me go check out your channel and let's see how many reviews you've done. Oh, 0. Okay. So I love having, a little bit of, constructive criticism. But when you're a dick about it, and I can see you've never created any content, I'm probably going to rag on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wrong about a lot of things, and so I don't mind being corrected or somebody. Hey, it's actually like this instead of like that. But again, there's tactful ways of telling somebody they're wrong. Instead of just being you're wrong, you're stupid.
Yeah, and again, I know for a fact, and I've said that sometimes over text things do not come out right.
No, that's absolutely the truth. Well, I didn't mean it that way, especially with me. There's things that I do sometimes that I'm just as simple, like I'm just trying to put it in simple terms, and then like somebody takes it the wrong way, and I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute, I didn't mean it the way you're taking it. Let's calm down a little bit. And that authentic thing, it hurts a lot of communications.
Yeah, and again, sometimes it comes off wrong, and usually you read them and you're like, are they being a dick or did it just? And then the other ones are just like, yeah, you're just being an asshole. Like, believe me, I'm one of the biggest assholes, so I can read right through that. And now you just want to be a dick to be a dick, and you can also tell like sometimes what the video might be on, or certain things that they say, and it's like, oh, you're part of this group that clearly doesn't like me because they don't like me. I can tell by reading it because you reference certain things. And some of the stuff has been, some people will make comments. I don't get it nearly as much as I used to, but it would be like, oh, if Valaverse did this, you would rag on them, but you won't do it for Classified. And it's like, you might want to go rewatch those videos because you won't see me ragging on the product nearly as much as you think that I did. But in your mind, it's like anything. In your mind that something's going to be awful. Hey, you go into that new Marvel movie that it's going to be awful and it's not. Sometimes it's hard for you to just admit like, hey, I thought that was going to suck and it was really good.
Exactly. And there's some channels too that I like, that I watch, that a lot of people don't like, and I'm just like, hey, if you don't like what like what you like, don't like what you don't like, And I don't really want any drama, and I don't want none of that stuff, and and then some people are like, oh, you shouldn't like that person for this reason. And I'm like, don't tell me what I can and can't like, let me be the judge of it. And if I like them at first and then they wind up and I see some things, then I'll just be like, you're right, I shouldn't like them,
And that's what I've always said before. Like I truly am like, you can like whatever you like. Like if I don't like someone, I don't expect my friends to dislike them, and I don't expect anyone else to. But I will say this: when I know somebody lies or someone has made up shit, or if someone really tries to hurt my channel by making up lies, it's in my for me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna give you. Hey, I'm just gonna give you the facts. You do whatever you want with it. If you still decide, hey, that guy still gives me entertainment, he gives me some knowledge here, then great. But I'm just gonna be like, hey, just so you know, this is what he's done, or this is what they'll do. Just be careful. This guy,
Yeah,
he lies about a few things.
I've had some people message me with that. Some some channels that I like. They're like, "Hey, this is what they're about. Just be careful with them." And I'm like, yeah. There's been a couple of people that I kind of. It's okay. You like DK. That's what I grew up on. I mean, that's. I grew up with that, and that, when I go back and watch it now, because I have the whole series, I'm like, gosh, this is terrible.
I don't think I've seen every Deke commercial. Or I mean, commercial cartoon. I'm pretty sure I missed it. So Tim Brown says, I have a question for you. Actually, I don't know if that's towards me or to you, but feel free to.
Yeah, feel free to if
it's for me, feel free to answer. If it's for me, I will try and answer it the best that I can. If it's for Joe
I'm an
fan,
open book.
he can answer it.
I'm an open book. Ask me anything. I don't care.
So where do you see your collecting and YouTube going from here? Like, do you have any ideas, any plans? Like, you have no urge to get into any other property other than G.I. Joe, or maybe some stuff that can be.
Well, I like Delta 17, and I've been collecting them. And then there's that Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
AWOC, yep.
Yeah, I've been getting some of them, and I like them a lot. They're pretty cool stuff. And then I got some Valaverse things. I don't have a whole lot, but there's some things I like. And then who else do I get? I started getting some of the old Playmate Star Trek again, because what I do is I take all their parts and put it with the figure that I have. So I can restore my figure, and then I take the extra figure I take to go trade at that Total Nostalgia place I told you about.
So you are. So again, you're not just collecting G.I. Joe. You are dabbling in other stuff. That's just your main property.
That's the main collection. And again, it's fun to go out with my son and go Joe hunting. It gives us something to do, because again, there's nothing to do in this small town. There's nowhere to go. There's no hangout spots. There's nothing here. I mean, you can go hang out in the cow field and shoot some guns, but that's about it, or the cornfield.
Have you done cow tipping like Tommy Boy?
I'm not gonna say any, because I play the fifth because it might get me in trouble.
No, I'm gonna say this. Like, you talk about going toy hunting with your son. Those are things that he's gonna remember the rest of his life. I've said it before. I've told the story when both Andrew and Olivia were in school. She was in middle school. He was in high school. They're on the same property, but he had to be dropped off around 6:50, 6:55. She could not go back in. She couldn't go into the middle school till 7:30. So we would shoot up to Walmart because it was less than a mile away. We technically weren't toy hunting because we knew none of it was actually, there was nothing new, but we would always walk by. She'd grab the fart gun, the Minions fart gun. She thought it was hilarious.
My son likes that too.
Yeah. And then one day they had the Pac-Man video game, and she started playing it. She played one game. And then one day she went 2-player. So we would play one game every single time. And then one day it was gone. And she still remembers it. And her last day of middle school, when I dropped Andrew off, we went there. And I'm like, hey, this is it. Like, we're never doing this again. Like, I mean, she'll still go out with me, but we're never doing this before school again. And that is something that, I'm assuming when hopefully, I'm gone well before she does, and hopefully it's not for a long time. Hopefully that's one of those things she talks, to her kids about, or her grandkids, just talking about that type of stuff. So that's the stuff your son will definitely remember, like going hunting with his dad. Like we never found shit.
We hardly
It's,
find
it's
anything.
the journey. It's that journey of looking for something and just
That's why I do a lot of pre-orders too, because then I know it's there. I go pick it up, and then he can get himself some Pokemon cards. And then too, sometimes I'll go pick up the Joe, and then I'll take him fishing, because that's literally all that boy wants to do is fish. He's all about fishing.
I got some buddies that I skate with that are super into fishing. A lot of the skateboarders are into fish. I'm like, that looks like the worst thing ever. Like I
enjoyed it when I was a kid, because I used to go with my grandpa. He another uncle of ours had his own private lake, so we would go out there. And you can sit on the dock and fish all day. But to me, it was more about spending time with my grandpa than it was about fishing. But my boy loves to fish. He absolutely loves it. Even though he gets impatient and he gets mad that he's not catching anything. And but he loves fishing. And what I usually do is I'll if I take him fishing, I'll grab me a Joe comic or I've been getting into these Find Your Fates. And
I have two of those.
Yeah, I just got this. I just started getting into them. So
wait, is that a book or?
Yeah, it's a book. Find Your Fate.
So this guy from high school, he's super into Batman. He reaches out a couple years ago and he's like, "Hey, I got some." It's actually where I got the Desert Fox from. He reaches out and he says, "Hey, I got some." He goes, "I found some G.I. Joe stuff in my mom's attic. Did you want it?" And I said, "How much you want for it?" He's like, "I don't want anything for it." He goes, "I just know that you collect it." So I met him up at Walmart and he gave it to me, and then he gave me the 2 books. I'd never even seen before. He's like, "Oh, I had these 2 books. I thought you'd like them." So they're downstairs on the shelves right behind me. I never seen them before.
It's pretty. I didn't know that. That was another thing. I didn't know that. I didn't know they existed until Hooded Cobra Commander read one night. And I was like, "Hey, what is that? I never heard of those before." And then when he came on, I was like, "That's pretty cool." So I did some research into it, and I bought one, and then I just got that one last week, and I hadn't had a chance to read it yet. But
yeah, I don't see myself buying any or even reading the ones I have, but they're interesting to see.
they're very fun.
So, Chris, Tim Brower is asking me, I've been thinking about getting the Gridiron Shadow Phalanx and the Gator. I was wondering if the Phalanx gun missile can work with the Gator's 50 cal. I really don't know. But I will say this: the majority of like the cannons and everything, the guns, they sit on a universal turret, so they should all work. They have a Gridiron Facebook page. Matthew, do you know what the Gridiron Facebook page name is? I don't. If Tony's in here, he can tell you. If you're on Facebook, they'd be able to tell you in there. Or maybe even Tony could, but I'm not positive. So I don't want to point you in the wrong direction. But I think for the most part, all that stuff is very universal. Other than the really big turret that he made, they'll use the puck if it needs to. It drops in there. So a lot of that stuff does.
Yeah, I see Giraffe talking about my Coca-Cola. I'm going to move this real quick. I'm going to show you a little bit of my Coca-Cola stuff.
Nope, I'm not a GI. I don't.
Sorry.
I'm trying to think of what the name of the group is.
My whole body just popped. But yeah, I got a Coca-Cola sign here, and then I got some vintage bottles here. My dad got this when he was in Thailand during Vietnam.
Oh wow!
And then that Georgia Bulldog one was my granddaddy's. And then I got these in '96 Olympics because I lived in Atlanta. And that's when it was in Atlanta. And then I got this old sign here, 10 sign. Then there's my car collection here. It's facing the other way though.
Why Coke stuff? Is there specifically?
It's just it's fun. I like it. And 2, I had an aunt that every time I went to her house, she always gave me a Coca-Cola bottle in a glass
Okay.
bottle. And so it's for the memory kind of thing. And then here's some of my classifieds up here.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, and there's the vamp that I got for Christmas from Mom and Dad. They got me this for Christmas. I was impressed. And then I
Did you
found
ask
that.
them how much
I
they bought it
found
for?
that- Huh?
Did you ask them how much they had to pay for it?
They knew. They asked me what I wanted. I was impressed. And then there's my Hess trucks, my Hess collection, and then there's the new ones over there.
What are those?
They're Hess trucks. Back when I was a kid, this is another thing I used to collect. When I was a kid, we had a Hess station down the street from us, and these are like novelty things where they light up and they have like cars and stuff. I made a video about them that say they can light up and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But they it was like a novelty state thing that only came out during Christmas time, and they still make them like this. These are the newer one. This is the one from this year down here on the bottom.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we don't have a Hess.
Yeah, it was they're not in business anymore,
Okay.
but they still make the cars for novelty reasons, obviously. But they it was something that my dad used to get every Christmas, and he still gets them for me for every Christmas too. So, but I got some of my pictures in the hallway of Joe. I got Sergeant Slaughter's autograph, and Mom told me I should show off some of my collection.
Does it make you mad that he turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA?
For a little while, he did, yeah.
I can't get over it. Dude, I'm never getting over it.
So there's the Animal Warriors, and then there's my mom got me these right here. She says these are going to be worth some money someday, so you should hold on to them in the box. Okay. But I love this figure from Valiverse, this Sidewinder. I think it's really cool.
Didn't he come with the Vanguard? Oh no, that's a different. That's
yeah.
Okay.
That's Sidewinder. But yeah, Mom got me those. She found them at the dollar store, and she said these are going to probably worth some money someday. Hold on to them, and I'm like, okay, so that's the reason I got those. I know they're a girl's toy, but
Oh, well.
Mom has really good insight on things. She's been right about so much stuff. I tend to listen to her. She's been spot on about a lot of things.
You should again, like that's one of okay. I don't have that. I haven't had that since I was 13 years old. So
I feel very fortunate to still have both of my parents, and they're still together too. And you don't hear that much, especially nowadays. You don't hear that much anymore.
Nope. No, it's there's a guy. He's been on the radio. He recently passed away. Well, not recently, past 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been listening to him for years. And he was married to, he was a sports radio personality. He was married to one of the station anchors. They had 2 kids, and it was weird because he passed away, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna have that. I've been with someone for 50 years, especially now. I'd have to meet someone now and live to be 100.
Yeah, that's
how
how
I
I
feel
feel
plan.
about it too. I'll never have a 50th anniversary.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan to get married, so
I don't ever.
we can have an anniversary of a meeting.
I don't even have. There was one girl I was dating for a little bit, but and I thought her and I were going to get along because she liked. She was a huge anime person, and hey, Cat. But that's the one that broke. That's the one that broke the Delta 17 figure. This little turkey right here. This is Phoebe. Don't step on the computer.
They don't care.
No, they really don't. But yeah, she's the one that broke.
If you died right now, they start eating you in about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah. But the way I feel about that, as long as she has something to eat.
I guess. Dogs will wait like 3 days, they said. Cats are like 30 minutes. All right. Well,
feel that, Tristan. But yeah, I just ooh man, my hair's a mess. But I can't. All right, hang on a second. Sorry, this cat is driving me nuts.
Graf, I hope so. I mean, that would be Guinness
20%.
record right there for Roman to have 40 plus years. I'd love
nice.
it.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I do live in a realistic world.
I know I had a cat that she passed away a few years ago, but she went through both of my divorces with me. I got her during my first marriage, and I fell in love with this little kitty when she was a little kitten. And I had her. She went through 2 divorces, and she went through a lot. We went through a lot together, and she was kind of like my anchor. And then one day, I just she was only 9. She wasn't even all that old.
Oh, that's not
And yeah, but she was 9 at the time. She would have been like 13, 14 now, but at the time she was only 9. And I'm like, but I just walked outside one day to take down some Halloween decorations, and she was just dead on my porch. And I don't know why.
Wow.
No blood, nothing. It was so unexpected. She didn't seem unhealthy or anything. So I don't know if she maybe just had a heart attack. She was kind of chunky. So maybe she had a heart attack or something. But
no, that it's rough. I know, like we, the dog that we got together, my ex and I, we had to put him to sleep this year. I talked about it. It was rough. Like, I don't cry. I was a mess. And again, I love little Sheldon, but Roman has been like since I got him, after we split up. He's been that constant. And I remember after that looking at him and I'm just like, oh man, like I'm going to be a wreck when the inevitable happens. But I'm, a bad leg I'll deal with every day. It's the 3 to 4 years down the road, and I'm like, not ready for it. And it also doesn't help that so much of the channel has integrated him.
Yep.
Like there will be so many the pictures that and it's like it's great that he'll be, he'll always be there, but at the same time, it's gonna be like looking at pictures like the Roman Duke that we did, and like, is that gonna be difficult? And people.
I got him on a board here. I started collecting channel stickers, and I got him on the board there.
Oh yeah, you need the Circle of Jerks sticker.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot you saw that already. Yeah, I need a Circle.
I'll have him at Joe Fest.
Huh?
I'll have him at Joe Fest for sure.
Well, I unfortunately won't be there. I'll be at.
I will send you one for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need more stickers, but yeah, unfortunately, these cats, or fortunately, or however you see it, these cats have been part of my channel, whether I wanted them to be or not. She these, especially that one that just walked by. She's the most attention hog cat I have ever seen in my life. That sucks, man. That's rough, man. But yeah, that's the most attention one. Anything that, if I'm not focused on her, she gets jealous of. There was a stream I joined on. I think it was 3 Stars stream. I joined in on one night, and she was literally trying to knock the phone over. She was like all on that phone, like her face was like right there in it. She was trying to knock it over, and she was like not having it. I wasn't focused on her.
Matthew, I was just thinking about that the other day. They're still sitting in the same spot.
Oops.
Yeah, they're still sitting. They haven't gone to anyone else, if that makes you feel any better. They haven't gone to anyone else.
Yeah, I definitely need a Circle of Jerks sticker, and I'm trying to get everybody's channel sticker. Everybody out there.
No, like I have, I had a skateboard that I started putting stuff on, and I think it's about. I gotta look at it because I got some more stickers. I think I might be at the point where it's time to get another board and start filling that board up, because if put too many on there, then they're just overlapping each other. I want it to where people can see them.
Mhm.
And God knows I have enough skateboards that I can grab another one and start.
That's why I did it on this whiteboard. I actually got the idea from Jetman. He has on the background of some of his videos, he has the stickers like that. And I was like, yeah, it's really not a bad idea. So I was like, I'm just going to get a whiteboard. And that way, one that can fold out so I got plenty of room. Because a lot of people, too, they take those to Joe Fest and have everybody sign them. And so that's, like I said, that was just an idea. And I'm like, well, that'd be kind of cool to have this big giant whiteboard and just fill it full of people's stickers. And that is something I can have forever,
Yeah, no, it's there's something cool about getting people stickers and getting something where you, rather than just have them and you're like, oh, I have your sticker, putting it somewhere. And I can't speak for everyone. I know I get a little I get a smile every time I see a review or a live stream or a picture where I see my sticker in the back. I mean, that's the whole. I mean, that's one of the purposes.
Well, your sticker is actually on the back of my car right now. Your other, because you gave me 2 of those stickers.
I only gave you 2.
You gave me 2. You gave me 2 of the white and Punk with Toys, and and I got 1 Roman sticker, and I put that one, the Punk with Toys, on that board, and then I put my other one on the back of my car.
I have more. I'll send you some.
I'll hand them out. My son loves stickers. That first thing in my video I just made, I was showing where I got these. You can hear him in the background. I want one. I'm like, well, of course you can have one. And then this is the one that I actually gave him. He left it here on his bed. He was going to put it on his one of his school books, his folders.
Yeah, in 24, I ordered 700 stickers.
Whew.
And I only ordered that many because at the time, if you spent over $100 on PayPal, you had 6 months interest free. So everything that I gain, everything that I make through YouTube, Amazon, whatever, I put onto it, right? But the deal was so good that because I never ordered from them before, that I just kept adding on another 100. And it ended up at like 700 for like $120.
Not bad.
So I still have some, and I gave a lot away. In 24, I was leaving them. I just left them on the tables because I had so many of them, and they were gone the next day. But yeah, it was. The sticker is.
This is a little bigger than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. But I only bought 10 of them to kind of see how I like it.
Where'd you order them?
I think I got a little bit too big, so I want to shrink.
Where'd you order them from?
Makestickers.com.
Okay. Sticky brand make really good stickers.
Okay.
So that's where we order them from all the time. That's where all the ones that I've ordered, really good stickers. You'll get really good deals. They may email you or text you a promotion once, twice an hour. They've actually gotten better, but Tony and I had a hell of a running joke because they were relentless. Like emails, texts. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I haven't got through the others. I haven't got through the other, the other stickers, but I promise I'll order from you again. Like, stop.
Yeah, I'll order 10. That's all I know. And once these are, I'm definitely going to order more. But
Tony's here.
Hey, Tony.
There was actually one time I didn't talk to Tony in a few days, and I get this text from Sticky Brand, and I was like, I need to call Tony. Because I knew, again, I was the first one that ordered from them, and I knew how much we were getting, like just nailed. So when I told Tony, I didn't bother to tell him, like, yeah, make sure you remove yourself from their email and their text. He's like, man, they won't leave me alone. I'm like, no. I actually, if you look somewhere on my Instagram, I took a picture of like something running and I put sticky brand. Like it was chasing after me. I might have headed chasing after Tony actually. But they are good stickers, so I will give you that. We'll give them that.
Okay, y'all definitely have to check them out. This was just like I said, it was just makestickers.com, and it was only like $10 for 20 stickers. I mean, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, when you get those early deals, and sticky brand. I mean, I think my first one was like 100 for like $20 or $7. It was something. It was really. That's why I ordered so many. It wasn't because I'm like, I'm so popular, I'm gonna go through this. It was like, man, I might as well hit 100. And you do wonder how many stickers you're gonna go through. Anyone buying stickers for Joe Fest, you're not gonna go through 700, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe if I ever make it out to Joe Fest again, I can probably, maybe hand these out and trade them. Hey, let me get your sticker, and you can have one of mine.
Oh, you'll make it out again.
I've sent one of my stickers, and I've sent Tristan one.
Well, I need one, so
yeah, definitely. I'll get your address and I'll send you one out.
And then I'll be able to send you out the you need the Circular Jerks one. And I'll send some other ones because I had 700. Actually, I had more because I ordered a few more when I went to before I went to Assembly Required, because I was like, well, I can order a few more. I should have ordered more of the Roman stickers, so I got to order more of those, and I want to do another sticker for Joe Fest. So do something a little bit different, and maybe I'll just do the Monday Night Toy Ramblings with Roman. That's kind of been my new one. So
kind of fun.
But I do want to say it's been almost 3 hours. You said you want to go 2.5. I told you it goes by quickly.
Yeah, it does go by quick. I mean, I'm okay to keep going, but I would like, if you're okay with keep going. I mean, we can cut it off if you're ready to. But
I'll give a few more minutes. Like I said, I gotta wake up in the morning. I gotta. The biggest thing right now is going downstairs even after this and spending time with Roman, because he can't be up here with me, and he now knows. Like, he looks at those gates and like, it's like, you're not in trouble, buddy, but we want you to get better.
Yeah, I want you to heal you, and you gotta rest to heal.
Yeah, I want you up here again. People love seeing you more than they see, like seeing me. But and it sucks because he followed me downstairs into the basement to do laundry or whatever, and obviously he followed me upstairs. He'd go visit, go spend time with, Olivia. Now it's like he's downstairs, and I was sleeping on the couch with him.
That's nice.
And then I'm just like, I can't. Like, I
can't sleep on the couch comfortably.
For a while you can, but he lays on you, and then he gets up and literally pushes on you. Again, you're not talking like a 15-pound dog. He's 65 pounds. And half the time I was waking up, he's not even on there.
Yeah, well, I know my cats are like that white one. She's only 9 pounds, and she sometimes in the middle of the night she gets on my chest, and like I'm like, ugh! I can't imagine having a 65-pound.
The girl before my kid's mother, we got a cat, or she got a cat. But we were together at the time, and one day she's like, the cat doesn't like me. She's like, the cat's trying to kill me. I'm like, whatever, shut up, Michelle. You're full of shit. And then one day, middle of the night, she's like, Larry. I'm like, what? She's like, look. And the cat is literally sitting on her face.
Oh.
And I was like, I think you're right. She's trying to kill you.
Yeah, my girls, they get jealous. Anybody, cause sometimes when my son comes over and I'm spending too much time with him, they start hissing and swatting at him too, because he's taking up too much of my attention.
Yeah. I'll get I'll come home, and if I'm at a client's office and they have dogs, I'm always petting the dogs. People are like, "Are you okay with dogs?" I'm like, "I like dogs more than I like fucking people." Uh, but I come home and his nose will be pushed up against me, and you're like, "Dude, I didn't cheat on you. I didn't." And even when I would come home from my ex's house with Sheldon, he'd be right up on top of me and like, Sheldon, like he comes over here, you two tolerate each other. He's always on top of the couch, you're always on the bottom of the couch, or you're on the opposite. Like they never touched each other. But I'm like, his smell, so you can stop it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this one, she's trying to knock stuff over again.
Tim Brewer says, I gotta go to bed. Gotta go to bed in the morning. We usually wake up at 3 to 5 cats sleeping in our bed.
Oh wow.
Well, there's there's that the reel that goes around with the girl that's like, dogs are not supposed to sleep in the bed. Like, yeah, that's the biggest crack of shit.
Well, the main reason why I didn't like dogs sleeping on my bed is room,
Well, and so I got Roman, and the people that I got him from, I'm like, I don't want him on my couch. As he sit on your couch, you're like, well, we'll try and start breaking him, because he was only 9 months when I got him, but they had to get rid of him. But they got him fixed for me and everything, and they tried, and I was like, man, I tried keeping him off the bed and it didn't work. And then, or tried keeping him off the couch. But then I was like, I don't want him on my bed. So I got a bed next to my bed, and I would say, no, you sleep down here. So I'd go to bed. He'd be on his little bed next to me on the floor. Every time I woke up, he was in bed with me. So eventually you go, you know what?
Heck with it.
Why am I wasting my time?
Yep.
You hear me snoring, you're like, all right, time to get up in that bed. So I just gave up. And now it's like, I miss him. I mean, it's also nice to be able to sleep and not have him, because he always wants to be under the covers.
We used to have a min pen that was like that.
Yeah, but every time I wake up, he's out of the covers. So, man, 3-star says, I used to have a 140-pound Great Dane. He would wait until I fall asleep, then use his nose to scoop me over, and I'd wake up and he'd be a long ways on the bed, and I was on the edge. And you're not a small man.
No, my nephew had a Great Dane that was his boy. He would every night, he'd be like, Duncan, come here, boy, and then Duncan would go fly up in the bed with him. But my nephew would wake up with rashes all over his body and turn out he was allergic to the dog. So, I mean, they didn't get rid of him, but they just, he had to start shutting his door at night.
Yeah, like Roman, when he is allowed up here, if Olivia's here, he goes in her bed. He lays with her until I fall asleep. But he'll come into bed with me. But if he sees me on my phone, he'll walk back into Olivia's room, and I'll be like, just come up here. Like,
yeah, just come on.
He'll come up there. And I was dating a girl, and I'd be on the phone texting her, and he would not get up in bed with me. He would just kind of go back and forth, and you hear the tapping of the nails is coming back and forth, and you're like, just come up here. You're pissing me off more than anything.
Yeah, I missed my childhood dog. She was a little terrier, a little white terrier, and man, we had her for like 16, 17 years, and unfortunately, I had to put her to sleep because a snake got her.
Oof. Ooh. Yeah, I guess living down there, you have to worry about that type of stuff.
Well, this was in Atlanta. We had her when we were in Atlanta, and a copper. We didn't really ever have to deal with that much. But, she got sick just quick. We didn't know what was going on with her. The doctors couldn't figure it out. And my neighbor actually found a dead copperhead in his yard. And then we just 2 and 2 together clicked. And then we went and immediately right after we told the vet. And the vet said that would explain a lot of things, because they were doing blood work on her. They were like, her kidneys were failing. And they were just, one day she was fine. The next day it was just boom. But it was hard to put her down because we had her for so long. You know, she was like my childhood dog, and
Yeah, that's my dad had a dog that was, I think Biscuit was like 18, and she was bad. Like I'd go over there when they went out of town. They had two dogs, and Olivia would come over with me, and she's like, "They need to put her. They need to put him to sleep." And I'm like, "I agree," but they say
it's hard to do.
he's not feeling pain. He's on the medicine. He's not feeling pain, but like the dog couldn't move. Like it was blind, so it would find where like it knew where its food was. And my dad would like, he'll move his bed to where he wants it to be, but he can't see, he can't hear.
And the cat I had when I was he lived to be 18, but he just disappeared one day. We don't know what happened to him, but he
that would be so hard.
Cats disappear when they're dying. That's just something they do. They go find a quiet place and away from everything and pass away. That's just what cats do.
Yeah.
But he used to walk me to the bus stop every day. I mean, from like elementary school all the way through middle school and in high school, I didn't take the bus, but he, like all through that, he would walk me down to the bus stop. And then when I got off the bus at the end of the day, he'd be right there waiting on me to get off the bus, and he'd walk me back home. It was kind of funny, you know. The neighbors used to crack up about that because they'd be like, "There goes Josh and his cat." Yeah, that was a big old tomcat too. He was like a 25-pound cat, but he wasn't fat. He was muscle. Wow. And yeah, he was big too. He was a bigger than your average house cat, like taller and stuff. But unfortunately he killed some of the neighbors' cats, and some people used to complain about him.
Yeah, but you know what? I am gonna say it's after midnight for me. I know it's 11 for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time.
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate it very much, and it has been fun. I was nervous at first, but I'm okay.
Again, a lot of people have said, "Hey, you know what? You made it really easy. Calm me down." It's just a conversation. I'm not grilling people with questions. It's letting everyone else get to know who you are. I think you did a hell of a job. Like, kind of, people are gonna be like, "Oh, wow, that's Josh." Like, you know. They know who you are. Yeah. Like before, you're just like you just, hey, he collects GI Joe stuff, and
yeah,
you really get to know. You know,
it's fun to get, like I said before, it's fun to get to know people and get to know more people. And Mom's been messaging me the whole show on my phone. You need to take him out to your Joe room. You need to show off your Joe room. You need to take him out to your Joe room. And I'm like, I don't think, I would, but I don't know if the Wi-Fi works out there. You know. I mean, it works on the cameras that I have in that room, but I tried to do a live stream on my phone one time, and my first one, and it cut off, so I got out to the Joe room.
it takes one thing, and then everything kind of cuts off.
Yeah, so I would, but I did a Joe room tour on my channel. So if anybody wants to see what my Joe room looks like, go check that out. Yep. I mean, unless you just want me to try, but. It most likely, I'm just worried that it'll shut off.
Yeah, I mean, people go to your channel. It's in the description. Instagram, YouTube. Tell everyone where they can find you and what you have coming up, if you have anything coming up.
You can find me on YouTube. It's JoeFan84 on YouTube, and then on Instagram, it's JoeFan1984. Really, the only thing I got going on is just getting stuff in. I mean, nothing major, nothing special. I may do another live stream eventually. When the parts for that Shadow Dragon come in, I am going to do a video on that, on how to fix it and stuff like that, and kind of give them a shout out. And again, for how much I appreciate them just sending me parts, even though it was my fault for breaking it.
No, again, like that will go so much further. For them doing that with other people hear stuff like that, especially for a small company that's like, oh, hey, they'll go above and beyond. And we know how bad Hasbro gets bashed for not fixing
I know.
stuff.
I mean, I was like I said, I didn't mind paying for it because again, it was my fault, or my cat's fault, but still,
Yeah.
something of me, nothing, nothing on them, but they, and then it also chipped his arm. I think it's this arm. It chipped that arm, and yeah, she wants attention. But it chipped his arm, and I told them that too, and they're sending me an arm and a head for it, and they're not charging me anything, and I'm like, man, that's amazing, I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, because y'all are a starting out company. I know these parts are expensive, and again, it's nothing y'all did. It's all me. Let me.
No, again, like I said, they know, and most companies, smaller companies know, like, hey, that word of mouth, it's going to go much further. Like I said the same thing to Savage Crucible. Hey, can I buy this? I don't want to buy a whole nother figure. I just want the mace. It broke on and he said, nope, I'll take care of you. Send me your address. And I received it. So,
yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much. Everyone, check out his channels, Instagram, YouTube. Go check out his room tour. That's all. Again, I know people love watching my stuff. I love seeing other people's rooms, what they're doing. It's always a lot of fun. So anyway, Josh, thank you very much. I will see you guys all on Monday, and make sure you go follow Josh. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.